everybody. Welcome back to the McDonCast, the funnest podcast in town.
Only podcast. Welcome back, everyone.
What? This is why we failed. We're not consistent with our intro.
No, this is why we succeed. Other podcasts do the same intro every time. We keep it fresh
You never know what
no
you're
one
gonna
knows
get,
what to expect.
including us.
One week we'll say a thing. Next week we'll say something slightly different.
Maybe one week we'll forget to do an intro altogether, and we'll just go straight into making fun of Max.
Alrighty, guys, we've got lots of news this week.
Very big news.
We got Nintendo news. We got EA news. We got Activision news. We got Demon Slayer news. We got Thor news. We got Jurassic World news. We got Jason Momoa news. We got a lot of Zuck news. A lot of Twitter. A lot of news.
We got news about the Minecraft movie, and we'll get to it.
Oh, I did not even know we had Minecraft.
For now, let's start with some gaming. Yes, of course it is. Xenoblade 3, Xenoblade Chronicles 3, to be exact, has been moved up from September of this year to July 29th.
Oh my gosh, thank goodness. I was so worried this game was not going to move up.
So this game that no one really wants, but is just kind of expected to exist,
I love the Furby sex game. That's the best one.
No other thoughts on Xenoblade 3.
No one cares. Wait, Max, you're our resident Xenoblade player of the one Xenoblade game.
No, didn't you play the first one?
No, he just played the Wii U one.
No, he played Definitive Edition, right? Yeah, he played the first one.
I played two. No, I didn't play first. I played Chronicles and 2, I think.
Played 2?
Or maybe it was Chronicles 2. Anyways.
They didn't make Chronicles 2.
Then I
think you just played Chronicles.
Wait, no, Xenoblade Chronicles is the name of the series.
No,
Xenoblade played X, which was the Wii U one.
No. It was Xenoblade Generations. Sorry.
That's not a game.
That's Monster Hunter.
Darn it. I'm getting mixed up. Well, I played 2 of the games. I know that.
I
I got
think
one
you
on
played
Switch.
Xenoblade Chronicles X, which is
Yeah,
the weird
Wii
one that has nothing to do with the other ones.
Yeah,
and then I
that
think you
one's
played
kinda
the remastered version of the
Yeah, and then I
first
played
one.
the remake. I don't know if it was the first one. Anyways, they're very boring after like 20 minutes. Once you put it down, you don't want to pick it back up. So I'm not excited, and I'm definitely not going to buy it.
A rave review for
And the
Xenoblade.
Furby sex scene. That's the best. That's the most important part of the game. That's why
It doesn't happen. It's just implied.
That's why
combat
Donkey
is just
really loves
so
that
boring.
game. Donkey really likes Xenoblade Chronicles.
The combat is like so stupidly complicated for no reason.
Well, that's JRPGs for you.
No, but like it's just like switch to this. Now you're able to use this move, so you can go to this menu, do this, and that'll do 2 damage. Oh,
Yeah, wait, is it turn-based?
yeah.
Oh, that sucks.
Sucks.
Turn-based RPGs that aren't Pokemon are terrible.
Mhm.
Just in general. I don't think I've ever enjoyed a turn-based...
RPGs where you have to go through 4 different menus to do a basic attack are terrible.
Yeah. That's
Yeah, Tucker, I played Bravely Default, okay?
Yes, you did play. Didn't you play 1 and 2?
No,
Just
I
2?
own the first one. I played it because I wanted to play the second one, and then I was so bored with the first one that I forgot. And then the second, and then no, it was Bravely Second, which is not the second game.
No.
The second game is Bravely Default 2.
Yeah.
Bravely Second is I
something
guess a
else.
spin-off. I don't know what Bravely Second is.
Isn't it called like Bravely Default Second, like the Descent? Or
No,
something?
it's just called Bravely Second. Because they were just okay. Because the main mechanic in the game is you can brave or you can default. Default means you like wait and use your turn.
You can either be a coward or not a coward.
No, so what it does is it stockpiles your turn, so you can move twice next turn, or you can use your next turn's turn and move twice now. So
You can either play like an American or like
that
a
Pokemon
Japanese.
thing in Arceus where you have strong style and you have quick style.
No, I didn't play that game.
Well, if you had, you would know that it's the same. But Pokemon did it better because Pokemon is the only good turn-based JRPG, and Pokemon is pretty bad.
Okay,
So-
I'm trying to find. It was Bravely. Okay, so it goes Bravely Default, Bravely Second End Layer, which is the one you played.
No, I played the first one.
Oh, okay. Or Bravely Second End Layer, and then Bravely Default 2. So nobody really knows what Bravely Second End Layer is or means. But
It's made by the people who make Kingdom Hearts. I don't really care.
It's a Square Enix thing.
I wasn't expecting it to be coherent. All right.
Yeah, turn-based combat is just
Nintendo
Oh, and
is...
then there's a browser spin-off called Bravely Default Praying Brage.
The Like a browser game?
Yeah, like
Pop Tropica?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway.
Also, Octopath Traveler started off as a Bravely Default game.
Yeah, that's why it's called Octopath Traveler, because they couldn't come up with an actual title for the game.
Sam, here's a big piece of news. Nintendo.
Yes.
Their full emulator they were working on for the Nintendo Switch that emulates Game Boy Advance games has been leaked. The emulator itself was leaked. So apparently Nintendo was working on GBA games on Switch, presumably for NSO Online, the expansion pack to go with Genesis and N64 games.
Yeah.
It's not finished. Like, the emulator isn't finished, so we don't know how it would have actually worked or what games were going to be on it for sure. We just saw what they were kind of testing.
We just know they are making one.
The question now is, will Nintendo throw it out because it was leaked?
Yes.
Nintendo tends to do that.
It was leaked? Scrap the game. All of them.
Because if you don't know, Nintendo at one point was working on a Netflix show
for live-action Legend of Zelda.
For Legend of Zelda, it was leaked by someone at Netflix to a newspaper, and then Nintendo scrapped every project they had in the works with Netflix and just canceled everything and left.
Yeah, because I think they were also making
what they do.
They were also making an animated Mario show. I think
they were going to do a stop-motion Star Fox show with the College Humor people. And then they just...
To be fair, I don't think I would have wanted that to...
Because it was the guy who... That's a baby nug.
What happened, McDonald's?
Nintendo...
The new style.
Nintendo is like a toddler when you, like, break off a piece of their, like, Lego tower. And then they just destroy the whole thing because they get really mad. That's what Nintendo does.
They essentially just... They just take the board with the board game and just flip it over and run away.
I wasn't playing that game.
Yeah, that's what they do too.
Dude, I didn't lose.
That was never happening. We don't know what you're talking about. Goodbye.
Anyway,
but in other news, in Star Wars news, Sam, we have Star Wars news. Amy Hennig and her studio Skydance New Media are working on a Star Wars game, bringing the total amount of confirmed Star Wars games currently in development to 8.
Good. So we really need one more.
Those games include EA and Respawn's Fallen Order 2, EA and Respawn's Star Wars strategy game, EA and Respawn's first-person shooter game, Take-Two and Zynga's Star Wars Hunters, which is a mobile game.
Isn't that already out?
Maybe. If it is, they're doing the continuous content model.
I'm pretty sure it's a
Quantic Dream's Star Wars Eclipse, Ubisoft's story-driven open-world game, Aspire Media's remake of Knights of the Old Republic, and this game. So, this studio had already signed on with Marvel a couple of months ago.
Oh, no, it's not out yet.
To develop a Marvel game. We talked about that when it was announced. If you don't know, the Amy Hennig, who owns this studio, was the creator of Uncharted.
You pass it back this way.
So, Sam, is this too many games?
What do these people make? What?
They haven't made nothing yet. They're brand new.
I thought Skydance made a thing before.
I've
heard that name before. I know they've done something.
They just opened a game studio and an animation studio.
What do they normally do?
They were just like a production company for like Mission Impossible was the big thing they were involved in.
Okay, well, in that
case... I think J.J. Abrams owned them or was involved with them for a while. I don't think he is anymore. But I know they had like a big restructuring and rebrand, and now they're doing movies, games, and
so they did a
TV shows.
Well, I don't think this game will be good, but I hope the company gets good over... Like, because a new company, usually their first game is going to be not great because they're a new company, but like...
It's strange that they're trusting this random company with a Marvel game and a Star Wars game at the same time.
I don't know. Maybe they've shown some really promising stuff. We'll see. But yeah, a lot of Star Wars games going on right now.
Why are they letting Respawn make 3 at once? I don't get that.
Because EA...
It's true.
That's why...
As soon as that EA deal ran out, they immediately just ran to like 94 different studios.
I can't wait for Star Wars Eclipse to just never happen.
No, that's never going to come out.
That game will not come out. It will get canceled.
They're doing this like a raffle. You got to make a bunch of them and see when it sticks, you know? Like how you buy a bunch of tickets.
It's like, hopefully we'll get maybe one of these.
Yeah, hopefully
Lego Star Wars came out.
Lego Star Wars has always been the best Star Wars video game.
Outtake.
Not really. What is a Star Wars game?
Dark Forces 2 Jedi Knight.
That's not. Have you played that game since 2008?
Sam, no one's played that game since 2002.
Exactly. So, like, Lego Star Wars has been.
And I think it came out in 2003.
In my opinion, is like the most true to like Star Wars game.
What about?
Like, Jedi Fallen Order is good, but like it's over, and like if you can finish the game in like a few days if you just like try.
I mean, there's always been good Star Wars games out until the EA.
But
era.
Lego Star Wars has always been the most content-rich and like fan-centric Star Wars game.
Yeah, I guess so.
What's the one where you fly around as the spaceship and shoot AT? Bird vs. Camel?
Huh?
That game?
Horse vs. Camel?
No, the one that JonTron called Bird vs. Camel.
Bird vs. Camel?
Well, that was a knockoff of the Episode 5 game for the NES.
It was literally called Bird vs. Camel.
Oh.
Well, on that knockoff ROM it was,
I mean,
but
what
it was a
game?
copy of a Star Wars game that existed.
What was the actual game?
Star Wars Episode 5.
Yeah.
Fly around as a spaceship and shoot.
Yes.
Wow, that's so fantastic.
What just fell?
Some.
Okay, well, that fell. I don't know what that was.
Sam, what's all this Activision Blizzard stuff?
Okay, so
All this
as
fun
we know,
news.
Activision Blizzard is the best company.
Of course.
It always has been. And
As
just
we
to
know.
make sure that everyone thinks they're the greatest company,
Oh, what have they done, Sam?
California Governor Gavin Newsom
Yes!
has apparently
The
been
living Ken
secretly
doll.
sabotaging the case
What?
in Activision's favor.
Of course he is.
Because who knows why?
Because they gave him a lot of money.
Because they probably make a lot of money for the state, so he doesn't want to lose the money.
and
but-
because their unemployment rate is super
So
high.
what
he doesn't want to
happened
lay off
was
employees.
Gavin Newsom had gotten rid of the lawyer in charge of the case for like
for the prosecution.
yeah, and like the reasoning was really vague. Like it was very weird. And and then he's been requesting a lot of information from the litigation that like he would normally not need. And he, according to like insiders, has been echoing the sentiments and the interests of Activision Blizzard and their legal counsel. And anyways, when the lawyer who broke the news, when the lawyer who broke the news, she got fired, another lawyer like resigned in protest, and that's where this article came from.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, on the same day that this news broke, Blizzard announced a new character for Overwatch.
Oh, that's very cool.
Woo!
Very
New
cool.
Overwatch character, guys. Don't worry about the California governor sabotaging human rights cases.
It's in their favor. Why
for
would they care?
for the company. Don't worry about that.
No. Sam, what else did they? There's one more other thing.
Oh, they also this was even better. Yes. They announced a new chief of diversity, equity, and inclusion. And they vow to increase the number of women and non-binary employees by 50%, which is definitely not an attempt to both bury the allegations as well as this more recent story.
Obviously, it's so easy.
They are really going to do this. They are dedicated to these principles.
That's right.
And
They
ideas.
are not on trial for literal sexism, and they will definitely hire 50%.
They are
more
not being
employees
sued
of
for
women.
gross human rights violations and abusing women in the workplace. Absolutely. Why would you even say that?
For those of you who don't,
Activision Blizzard has been doing that for decades.
for
and it's
our
horrible.
Australian viewers who don't know Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, he's a really cool guy. He recently got recalled. He has allowed the homelessness to run rampant in the state to the point where he has renamed homeless people the unhoused, as to not sound as bad. The unemployment rate is like the highest it's ever been in the state. For the first time in the history of the country, the net population of California has dropped under his tenure.
He's a very cool.
All
Now,
around,
to be fair,
just a very cool guy.
A lot of that is also due to COVID. It's not 100% his fault, but he's definitely not.
Well, they made
helping.
sure to clean up that beach with all the heroin.
That's
needles.
true. They did
And
clean
then
up
let
Venice
all the
Beach.
people go back into it.
yeah.
That we're doing.
Yeah.
All the
that.
homeless people living on Venice Beach, they got them out for 2 weeks
They kicked them all out of the beach that they were living on,
so that they could clean
cleaned
up their
up the
heroin
trash,
needles
and then
poop,
put them
and then
back
put
on
them
the
back
beach.
on the beach.
because they know how to deal with
And
problems.
presumably they'll have to do that again sometime
Yeah,
soon.
presumably they're just going to keep doing that.
If only they could have used that money that they used to clean the beach to make like A homeless shelter?
No, that would be stupid, Max.
No, he's got to use
what
that.
kind of moron would build a homeless
He's
shelter?
got to use that money to help this horribly abusive company that everyone
He's got to
hates.
use that money to sabotage this human rights case trial against a video game company. Yeah, so
totally for very cool reasons.
Yeah, so anyway,
he's not a crooked politician.
That's all well and good. Moving on to TV news. Demon Slayer Season 3 got a trailer. It was really just like a minute-long flash reel of the like past 2 seasons with
I love it when that happens.
with like 5 seconds of footage from the new season, and it's just the main, the girl with the pink and green shirt that is missing most of the shirt in Demon Slayer.
Pink hair?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only girl who's
Is
like
that
a
the main
member of the
character?
main core of Demon
No,
Slayers.
there's the butterfly girl too.
Yeah, but she doesn't talk.
Okay.
I think you have to
Anyway,
talk to be a main
it's like
character.
it's like a 3-second clip of her like running forward, and that's all the new
Cool.
footage we got.
Ooh.
Oh, and we got to see the village that the swordsmith guys live in,
Ooh.
and they're making more demon slaying swords.
How many swords can you have at once? Can you have like 15 swords?
Yeah, the most I think we've seen anyone have at once is 2, and he sort of made those by himself. So, well, Tengen had sort of 2, but they were chained together.
Could you do like a Killer Bee Zoro 3-sword style?
Probably, except for that style would not ever
Did you
work in real
hold 2,
life.
put one in your
'Cause
mouth,
you'd break
and
your
then
teeth.
do that?
There's a guy in One Piece that does that.
Yeah.
That's his like signature technique.
Yeah, he
That's
goes
pretty
like
neat.
this and he
But like I said, if you did that in real life, if someone hit that sword, you'd break your teeth.
Well, no, they just put it in between their fingers.
No. One
I
sword.
just go like this. They use like 2, it's like claws.
You guys don't get it. So you hold you hold 2 swords in one hand because
Uh-huh.
you hold half the handle, right?
Uh-huh.
So you have 4.
Not overlap the handles and hold them both. You want to hold half of each handle. That way, if it gets hit, it'll just fall right out of your hand.
No, if they hit
Or
one,
if you hit
you
something
knock
with
out
it, it'll
both.
fall right out of your hand.
one in the mouth and then one in between the butt cheeks.
Have you seen Killer Bee from Naruto?
He's like
his
Yes,
sword?
8 swords.
You know me.
Hang on.
I know what all
Have
of
you
those
heard
words
the Demon Slayer theory?
Have you,
Max, tell me about the demon
have
slayer.
you heard of
So basically,
No, because
Demon
Tucker,
Slayer-
the thing that you're describing, I don't think you realize is already
Someone
a thing.
put a sword in between their butt
No,
cheeks?
he put him literally everywhere. He's just like using every crevice of his body.
Bleeding?
No, he's not bleeding. Well, maybe. No, he's not. Those are just ropes. He's literally using every crevice of his body to hold a sword.
That's cool.
That's his like thing. He only fights like twice in the whole show.
That'd be like a gimmick DC. That sounds like a gimmick DC character.
have you heard the dog eyeball theory?
Does that
It
have
actually
eyes?
means that all their eyes can shoot big lasers at everything,
That's
but we don't see them do it because we don't feed them carrots enough.
That's great, Max. Cool theory. Anyway. An animated series based on exploding kittens is in the works at Netflix for a 2023 release date.
Damn, you know
The one with the
exploding
cards?
kittens.
The card game
The
that
card
blew up
game.
on Kickstarter that then
was
spawned
like
like
the
5
highest
other
funded
card games.
Card game on Kickstarter of all time, and then it came out, and no one really cared, but they just kept making more stuff.
That is the same game with a slightly different skin.
Mm-hmm.
Did we play? I think we played that game like twice, right?
Yeah.
We have it.
No,
we
they-
own
no.
it.
it?
Yeah, we own it.
Yeah, we own it, but we never
I
played
don't
it
think
like
we
a single
ever
time.
played it.
I think we tried like one time.
I know they made like a mobile version of it, and
No,
they
but
did
they made a mobile version,
Rito
That was the
It was
original
free.
version. Yeah.
and then they made
Oh.
it cost money, which was really stupid.
Then when the card game came out, they made the app cost $4.
That
Which
was
is really
smart.
dumb. Just
But
like,
now you're gonna be able to watch a cartoon based off whatever that game was about. It was
I
about
think it was about
cats?
exploding cats, I
it
believe.
was just like that's like making a card game about Uno or a movie about Uno, like just people playing
Max, do
cards.
you perhaps remember the Michael Bay Battleship movie?
No, but that's like a game where you can actually do stuff.
Don't
with.
try to defend the Michael
The
Bay
card
Battleship.
game. I'm not defending it, but that's at least you can make a story out of it.
No, you can't.
Somewhat.
And the Battleship film
Yeah, except for,
proved it.
you know what the story was in that movie?
Aliens.
You know that board game about putting pegs on a board and firing at ships? Yeah,
Okay.
aliens.
Well, that just states board game
The
movies are
board game
stupid.
Battleship is a stupid game in the first place.
No, it's a fun
Oh, it's
game.
fun.
It requires no thought or skill.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Clearly, you
guess
just suck at
until
the
you
game.
hit something.
No, there are strategies to the game. Have you played the game ever?
Yes, but you just name a space and then you miss, and then you just keep naming spaces until you hit one, and then you find out where the boat is, and then you just shoot that one down, and whoever guesses the right spaces
the goal
first
of the
wins.
game is to eventually hit a thing, and then on your little map you can see where all your other pegs were, and then you can start to find out where their ships are. You don't just randomly guess the entire time.
But that's how you start.
That's like saying checkers is a game where you just randomly move a piece and then something jumps over something.
But you
can
strategize with checkers.
You can strategize with Battleship too.
You could like have places you normally hit, but it doesn't mean you're gonna hit anything.
Yeah, but you got to think, where would my opponent put the ships? Would he put them on the edge? Would he put them in the middle? Or should I? How should I go about?
Or you can just cheat and look over the board while they're not looking at you, and that's how you win.
Anyway,
the only way Max ever won.
Exploding Kittens 2023. The Flash could be
coming.
I
want to do this one.
Okay, yeah.
So the TV series The Flash,
our favorite show,
could be coming to an end.
Finally,
with an abbreviated season 9. Main cast member Jesse L. Martin, who plays Joe West on the show, is leaving the show as a series regular next season, so he can go star in an NBC show. Series main cast Candace Patton and Daniel Panabaker have already expressed interest in departing the show, and the current 8th season was recently upped from 18 episodes to 20 episodes. We talked about Grant Gustin. He signed his big contract. He's getting like $1.5 million an episode.
Yeah.
Or something crazy, and he's got to do like 15. Arrow and its final season had 13 episodes. I think season 9, 13 episode final season. Let's wrap this up. It's been running out of steam for 8 years. It's time to let it go.
This show is like a dog that's had 4 different kinds of cancer. It's time to put it down.
It's just
put it out of its misery.
It lives in an old age.
It can't even walk anymore, much less be the fastest man alive.
The show can barely. For a show called The Flash, it can barely walk. It's our review.
For a show about the fastest man alive, the show sure is bad.
Sure does move really slowly. No, but
if there's no phones in Egypt,
okay, I don't know
why
where Max is going
is
with this.
Moon Knight happening?
Okay, anyway, I don't know what that was, but
it was a reference to the tweet that we can't say. That's not important.
Anyway, Sam, would you be sad to see The Flash finally go?
No.
It's been on for 9 years. Well, about to be 9 years.
I genuinely think it needs to be put out of its misery. It was a good show. It had a good run. Well, it had a okay run, and then it was bad, and it's just been bad for a while.
Honestly, Arrow's final season was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
So if they can do the same thing here, where we just have a really short season, where we just wrap up everyone's characters,
We're not gonna do that.
we give it a good send-off.
But Arrow at its worst was not nearly as bad as The Flash at its worst.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Arrow
when the
never
Arrow
had
was bad,
lightsabers.
It was just kind of like lamer than it
was
used to
kind
be.
of stupid, yeah.
Because Arrow's
Whereas
already
like when the
pretty lame.
Flash gets bad,
Yeah, just it goes.
it becomes a clown show.
Well, and also
where
the Flash
the
is
Barry
like
Allen clown dresses up as a clown and he has to walk backwards and do a Michael Jackson dance in order to blow up the Moon Man, who's been attacking Earth with his magic moon missiles. That's
and
what happens with
it's
the
more
Flash.
disappointing when the Flash is bad because the Flash is so cool. Green Arrow, no one cares
Yeah,
about
no
Green
one
Arrow
even
that
cared.
much.
Green Arrow, like the people making the show clearly like actually cared. Like even when it got stupid.
For some seasons. But anyway, the point is that they've already had Cisco leave the show. He left last season.
He left a long time ago.
So did Tom Cavanaugh. You got Joe leaving the show this next season. Candace Patton, who plays Iris, has been wanting to get out since like season 3.
Mm-hmm.
Like she is, if you watch the show currently, she is sleepwalking
Tucker
through every
has watched
episode.
all the episodes.
So is Grant Gustin.
For
He
no reason.
obviously doesn't want to be there either. Like you have this massive cast of people who like don't want to be there at all, and if you keep dragging them along, eventually they're just gonna quit.
Yeah.
And the show will be.
I mean, you won't even get to end the show. It'll just stop
it'll just have to stop.
They should just cancel.
So
right
wrapping it up now is a good idea. The most absurd part about this is that the Flash season 9 will likely the Flash TV show will likely end by the time that the Flash movie comes out. The Flash movie being announced before the TV show started.
Yeah.
But
what year was Barry Allen supposed to go missing? 2025, right?
2018 or 2020, I think.
No, because in the on the newspaper, I think it's 2025.
I think it was 2025. Yeah.
So, man, they almost
But Crisis was moved up. So
it
had
was
3 more
moved up
years.
because they knew that they were running out of time for the audience to care.
Well, because they had to end Arrow, and that was the big thing that they'd been building up to. But when they do this final season, my guess, it'll be one last season. The main villain will be Reverse Flash again.
Because it's got to be
Reverse Flash. They'll probably go back to where they first meet, because they have to show that.
They'll become the lightning bolt, because that's all. Because they can't do anything. That's what they do.
They'll probably go back to the night where his mom is dead.
Because we know he's dead in the future. Like in every version of the future, he's always dead.
What they'll probably
not if he runs faster.
You know what
than
they'll probably
future.
do?
Yeah, because XS is not dead again, right?
Yeah, no, she's alive.
Which means
again.
Barry's missing still.
What?
In the future, because she only goes back in time because he wasn't there.
No,
and she
this
wanted
time
to
they
meet
go
him.
back in time just for fun.
Whatever. The point is, he's gonna die, and he's gonna be the lightning.
No,
bolt.
he's alive. They're in the reboot after Crisis, the future for the Flash, like everything's just hunky dory. Like he's
really
fine. Iris is fine. His kids are fine. Jay Garrick's fine, even though he's like canonically 115 years old. Like everything is just cool. It's all just like cool and hunky dory. But yeah, I would expect probably they're gonna try to spin off this too, right? Because you know how when Arrow ended, they tried to do like a backdoor pilot for like a Green Arrow in the Future show.
Yeah.
My guess, they're gonna try to do a backdoor pilot for Excess and Impulse Future Flash show into this, just to see if they can get it made.
They should do crossover with Batman.
They probably could, because I don't think the actors for those two characters, I don't think are doing literally anything else.
But also, like, DC is in such like a major reshuffle now. Like, they are on the verge of legitimately canceling one of these shows, which doesn't happen really at all. Like, Black Lightning kind of got canceled, but that really just like did its thing and ended. Supergirl wrapped up.
Supergirl had been finished for a while.
Supergirl had finished for a while. They were just waiting, and so they finished
Supergirl never really should have happened.
Arrow got
honestly.
8 seasons before it ended, but like they are actually like, we're probably going to cancel Legends. We're probably going to cancel
Legends has been.
No one even knows what that.
What is even going on?
That's
with
like
Legends?
the Frankenstein's monster of television. It's just like this amalgamation of like body parts, and it's just like walking around screaming.
It's like the Flash's like left heel, and then like Arrow's like one of his eyeballs.
Every single member of the original cast is now gone from the show.
Yeah, it's like it's not even.
Except for White Canary.
Is the AI AI still there?
Yeah, she's still there, but it's like.
Well, there we go. She's a she's a person.
Oh right,
remember?
she's a person now.
She's a human being sometimes,
or something.
Only
I don't know. I stopped watching.
In Rip Hunter's imagination, sometimes.
I was like, they did like. I stopped watching after like season 5. I know they did like seasons like 6 and 7 like aired within like a month of each other. Like it wrapped up and then immediately started the next season. But with the Flash ends, I think that's kind of like. That's really goodbye to the Arrowverse, especially if they cancel Batwoman and Legends. Like, it's done.
Oh, no.
Like, technically, Superman and Lois will still be in that universe.
But that's, like, kind of not related.
They have made a conscious effort not to involve themselves.
They chose to not be related.
Yeah, and then, I mean, Diggle showed up for an episode, but that was more just like, look, Diggle's here.
Yeah, like, look, it's like, guys, it's the same, right?
And then, they're moving forward with that Gotham Knights show, which is unrelated.
I think we'll see a new something verse.
Well, also the CW is potentially being sold.
Yeah.
So Warner Brothers is probably not going to want to spend the amount of money it is to make these shows for this network that they will not own anymore. And Netflix eventually is going to stop paying for them. So you might as well just wrap this up now before it becomes just a complete financial loss.
What if we get more content in the Titans verse?
So help me God.
What if it just gets replaced with the worst version of itself? Because the Flash at least started good. Titans started awful.
Yeah.
And got worse.
That's how good it is.
Man, remember when I called Titans in like 2014? I was like, they're gonna make a show, live action Titans.
They were working on it.
Titans, and everyone went, "That's a dumb idea."
They were gonna it was gonna be on.
You're a dummy for thinking of that, and I'm like, yep, but it'll exist.
It had been in development
Teen Titans
for a while.
Go was better than Titans by
Titans Go is still the best currently running DC show.
Teen Titans Go is still on.
Yeah, it has outlived every single
it's
one of these.
It's gonna outlive the Flash. It's gonna outlive it.
Because
Yeah, it started years before the Flash.
Cartoon Network
Tucker,
has nothing
Teen
but
Titans Go started before the Green Lantern animated series.
Sam, hang on.
Yeah, it did.
No. Hang on.
Yeah, it did.
Shush. I don't think you realize Teen Titans Go will air longer than the Flash TV show and got a movie for itself before the Flash movie came out. And it will probably live longer than the Cartoon Network television channel.
And I can guarantee you that Teen Titans Go movie is better than the Flash movie's going to be.
At this point, there's gotta be. Because they're gonna have to edit the crap out of it.
Because at least one of them is funny.
And does not include
on
a
purpose.
criminal.
It's funny on purpose.
Yeah.
And none of the... Aside from Nick Cage, no one involved is a crazy person.
I know everyone hates Teen Titans Go, but if you haven't seen the Teen Titans Go movie, it's really good.
I don't think people hate Teen Titans Go anymore.
No, they do.
People still do.
I feel like they did when it...
Because they still don't get it.
Yeah, the people who hate Teen Titans Go just don't understand what it is.
And yeah, it can be annoying, and like the animation's cheap, but it's kind of embraced the fact... a long time ago, it would embrace the fact that the show itself is a joke.
Like a joke. Yeah, the show it doesn't take itself seriously.
At all.
It's like a...
Which is why everyone hated it from the start. That's because people like the old show. But the old show's never coming back. They've made that clear now.
And
it wasn't that
Young
great.
Justice is kind of better than Teen Titans. I'm just gonna
say
it. I mean, maybe not so much. The newer season is a little bit dumb.
Teen Titans was more consistent.
From a storytelling perspective, the newest season is not there. But the first 2 seasons of Young Justice
were real good.
Were amazing.
I think Teen Titans should be counted as better because Teen Titans was good all the way through.
But it got canceled.
Where Young Justice has had.
But Teen Titans never got to finish itself.
Young Justice also got canceled.
Yeah, but it came back.
But it's probably going to get canceled again.
No, they'll keep making it. Because HBO Max doesn't know when to cancel things.
Well, they do.
They just
under new
choose
leadership.
to keep making literally everything.
Yeah, it'll just review random things. It'll just be like, Degrassi.
We're rebooting Bubble Fungus from 2001.
How many people watched this flight attendant show? Like 7? Pick it up for seasons 2 and 3.
This is Young Justice, the big fat
Young Justice will
Titans
finish.
lost money. Renew it for a season 4.
Young Justice will finish on HBO Max.
Well, yeah, hopefully. That show needs to end too. They gotta wrap that up.
This is Gnort, the series from 1990.
Season 4 is just treading water.
The thing, at least Young Justice clearly they have, or at least they've done a very good job of making it look like they have some sort of end game in mind.
The end game is they're gonna have a big fight with Darkseid.
Yeah,
which is how DC ends every single thing it's been making for the past 20 years.
Because he's always their big bad. But at least we got to see them get to that point. Like at least it went somewhere, even if it didn't go somewhere different. At least it ended at a spot that could be considered like climactic.
Maybe that's how the Flash will end.
He's gonna fight Darkseid. I honestly wouldn't be surprised at all.
He just runs real fast.
Darkseid will be played like by just some guy.
Yeah, it'll be like the Monitor, where he's just a guy.
Yeah, it'll be like what's his face? They did the big fish guy, Despero, earlier this season, and he was just some Australian man, even though he's supposed to be like this giant pink fish alien.
Well, they did the Anti-Monitor, and it was just a bald guy.
It was the Monitor, but in more makeup.
Yeah, it was just the Monitor, but someone spray painted him green.
And if you remember, in the comics, the Monitor is like this universe-size, like Galactus-looking monster.
The Monitor in the comics is a literal, like, it's the progenitor of all ideas and stories in the universe that exists outside of space and time. And the Anti-Monitor is the opposite. It's this, like, all-consuming, destructive entity of doom.
I don't understand
in the Flash show, it's just
a
guy spray-painted green.
Why does the animated stuff, like, change characters so drastically?
What do you mean?
Like with the Monitor and stuff, and like in the Marvel stuff, like they change like characters from the comics. They look entirely different, but it's animation, so it's not like they have like that many limits.
When? Like when did that happen?
Just like generally in like DC animated stuff.
When did that happen?
I don't. A lot
of times. Did that ever happen? I don't think that's happened.
A few.
In what shows has that happened?
Usually to alter the art style, because the art style of the comic from the 80s.
What's a show that happened in?
I don't know a show, but
Do you
it
know
happens in movies sometimes.
Well, yeah, in the movies because they gotta make it live action.
No, not in live action, but though.
What animated superhero movies are there other than the ones that no one sees?
Like all the DC movies.
Yeah, but no one sees those. I mean,
Watch
ones that
them.
people actually watch.
That's weird. That you do that.
Okay.
And even the ones that they do, the only one where they did that was the Injustice one, and yeah, that movie's really
That's because they were
awful.
just like, what if we made everything look really ugly?
What if we just used the worst art style ever?
That's right. That's a good plan, Gerald.
You did it.
Promotion
Raise
again.
for you.
All
We're
right.
making a part 2.
Let's move on from DC talk because there's going to be more DC talk later.
Oh, goody.
Marvel submitted Hawkeye and Moon Knight for nomination in the limited series category at the Emmys,
And they
confirming
won't
that neither
win.
series will receive multiple seasons. So for Hawkeye, that makes sense.
That's kind of a shame for Moon
That
Knight.
did its thing and wrapped up. But I thought Moon Knight, out of all of these, had like that's the one that you could just do like another Moon Knight
I
adventure.
wonder if they won't just make Moon Knight movies from now on.
Probably
I'd be
better.
real. It would be a real shame if he like dies at the
I
end
don't
of
think
this.
he,
No, he's not
Okay.
gonna die.
they have two outs. They have two routes where they're going with Moon Knight. One is that Oscar Isaac quits and they just get the girl to do it, and it's just girl Moon
But
Knight. And
Oscar
the other
Isaac,
one is that he just pops up in other like MCU horror stuff.
Oscar Isaac clearly enjoys, like in all the red carpet stuff and all the interviews and stuff. He clearly enjoys playing this character.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see any reason why he'd quit. And like the marketing for Moon Knight is so strong. Like that character's iconography is so strong. I don't feel like they've fully capitalized on it. But if they do, he could be a mainstay in the MCU.
I really hope
Well,
they just
he's
do
going.
Moon
He's
Knight
gonna be
movies.
around, but I think what they'll probably end up doing with him is he'll pop up in Blade. He'll pop up in Werewolf
Yeah.
by Night.
Maybe Spider-Man.
If they do something with Ghost Rider, he'll be in that. My theory, I think what they're gonna end up doing is because Blade already got 3 solo movies in the early 2000s. I think that Blade movie is gonna turn into not like title wise, but I think it's gonna end up being like a Marvel.
What if we
spooky
get
guys
a
team-up
Ghost Rider
film?
versus Moon Knight movie, and it's called Moon Knight Eclipse
Because versus movies
because
always
the
go
moon
well.
is covering the sun, and
But Ghost Rider's
is,
not the
yeah, but he's
sun.
on fire, which is like the sun.
Which is
Like
fire
Sam just did an MCU tweet. Like one of those MCU stands on Twitter.
Guys.
What if this thing? And their profile picture is Wanda,
Yeah,
and their name is like
MCU fan.
They see, like-
MCU girl number 17, star.
No, they
emoji
see
con.
like some insanely obscure Marvel comic villain, and they're like,
I
what
hope
if
this isn't
this
all we
guy-
get from Moon Knight. I really hope we
No, I think he's gonna be in other stuff.
because
but
he's
I-
my favorite character. He's got to be in more stuff.
I am interested. I am surprised because like it's so stand on its alone by itself. Like right now,
Yeah,
where like if they wanted to, they could just do Moon Knight season 2. He just fights a different guy.
but if it's a limited series, they're not going to do season 2.
Exactly,
Yeah.
but like Hawkeye, that did its thing, and
Hawkeye, I
that's done.
knew wasn't going to get.
Hawkeye
It's
was a-
Hawkeye. Who
But see,
cares?
no one
But
cares
I'm
about
just saying,
Hawkeye.
in terms of like and the way the story is, like Falcon and the Winter Soldier, like it was a movie type arc, and
Yeah.
it wrapped up, and then
and we
moving
will
on.
get a Kate Bishop show. Like that's going to be a thing.
She's gonna be in stuff.
She's going to be in things.
yeah.
See, like when Hawkeye came out, people were like, "Dog cute." Moon Knight came out, everybody's talking about it.
Ghost man, bird
Ghost
creature,
man,
cute.
bird guy, fighting,
Love
punch,
me a good
punch.
ghost man bird character.
Okay, wait. One thing I do. Okay, so you know how like when they put Khonshu in the
Okay,
stone.
well, can we talk about it when
Hang
we
on.
get to talk
Yeah,
about the
yeah,
episode?
Okay, we'll get there. We'll get there.
Okay. For now, let's talk about Netflix losing money. Netflix lost 200,000 subscribers in quarter 1 of this year,
Oh no!
and expecting a 2 million subscriber loss in quarter 2. Sam, why do you think this is?
They raised their
Have no
prices too
content.
high.
Also, yeah.
They raised their price. They chose to nearly double their prices during a period of time in which they were losing the majority of their content.
Yeah.
What a stupid play.
No, most other streaming
What a
services.
moronic business move.
They can't.
Who on earth thought that would have been a good plan?
Wherever the guy runs.
Yeah, 'cause
How do you look at those two variables and you go, yes, this is the right play?
It's not even like, I think it's just like, it's not even that they're losing content, but they are. But like, they have a large amount that they're pumping out. And
Yeah.
it's very popular. People watch Netflix.
A lot of
crap
people
all
watch
the
their
time.
shows, but there is a limited number of eyeballs.
Well, that
And a lot of those eyeballs right now are watching all of the Marvel and Star Wars stuff on Disney+.
That and Netflix is the most expensive streaming service on its own.
Yeah.
Technically, it's Amazon Prime, but you're not just paying for Amazon Prime.
Amazon Prime's exponentially cheaper.
You can get Disney Plus, ESPN, and Hulu for like $11.
But like, and we're in an age now where everyone has a streaming service, and whether you like it or not, you're gonna have to buy multiple of them.
Yeah, if you want to keep
the
up with
content.
everything. Yeah.
Disney Plus is $8 right now, and if you bundle it with Hulu and ESPN Plus, it's $12. That's a pretty good
deal. And it's still half the price of Netflix.
That's a pretty good deal for the average customer.
And you don't have to have limited screens for no reason.
Netflix, their like basic package is like $17 a month.
And it's like you get like one screen and it has to be a phone screen and you can't like watch HD content.
Yeah, it's like no one else opposes those rules.
Yeah.
If other streaming services have tiers, one is ads and one isn't ads.
And then everything else is
and it's not like only one of you gets 4K and the other ones don't.
Hulu is
and
like the only one that do
cheapest
that.
one, you're gonna get stuff in non-HD, which has been the standard since 2011.
Yeah.
It's like no one else does that.
Whenever a streaming service goes, guys, you don't get HD content at this tier, just remember
they don't
the
have to
Nerf POV cam that they used to sell as an attachment for their Nerf guns shoots HD video. And that came out in like 2012.
That's how
and that's a Nerf gun.
When
you can show us the HD. It's not hard.
No, but like also, it's not even that they're raising prices. It's that they do it so often.
Yeah.
Last spring, they rose the prices of everything. And then earlier this year, they did it again. This is becoming a yearly thing where they just keep raising and raising and raising the price. Eventually, you're going to lose people. And because we have so many alternatives now, they're just going to end up dropping it
I think,
and risk and just not watch that content and then just go move to these other places because it's not worth it.
I think they were pushing it to the limit to see how far they could go, and I think they've passed it, and I think now they're starting to see some recoil.
I think they've realized that they've lost pretty much all of the content that everyone wanted, and all their original content is going on too long, and no one likes it anymore. Now they're failing because no one wants to pay for it.
They're going to have to do so. Obviously, they're right now they're too big to really for any of this to really do attention.
Yeah.
I mean, they're twice the size of their closest competitor.
Yeah.
But they're going to have to do some consolidating. Drop a tier, combine a tier, get rid of the dumb screen limiting rules that no one else has.
Yeah, Disney Plus is $8 and there's no limit to how many screens you can have.
They need to get rid of all the stuff that they don't have to charge more.
They need to stop doing anti-competitive nonsense that makes no sense.
Yeah,
like, they don't have to pay to give you more screens.
Yeah, that costs
them nothing. They don't have to
nothing.
pay
That's like,
to give you better quality.
They do it so you don't share
quality.
your account with your friends.
Which they're also cracking down on as well at the same time.
Yeah.
And so people who are sharing their accounts with people are just like, okay, if they're going to end up cracking down on this, it's not worth it for all of us to pay for it. So, because it's so expensive now.
Now, Hulu also has anti-sharing stuff, but theirs makes a little bit more sense. It's like geo-locked to like, you have to be in the specific area, and you can only be out of it for, I think, a period of 30 days before you can't use it anymore. So you actually have to either...
It's kind of dumb.
You have to be related, at least, to the people who you're sharing it with, because you have to go there every, like, 30 days. But, like...
It's kind of dumb, though, because if
there's
you're,
no
like,
screen limits.
Yeah.
The screen limits is really the problem.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
And
especially for us, because we...
You shouldn't have to buy two Netflix accounts if you have a family of...
We
like,
have
a
a
big
family of 6.
Yeah.
And their like highest tier is like 6 screens. So if we're like,
if you don't buy the highest tier,
if we don't buy the highest tier, then it's
can't watch
basically
Netflix
really dumb.
Right now, someone else is watching.
And it's
Netflix.
also they choose to tier this stuff that doesn't make sense. They have currently Netflix games as an option, as a service, as part of Netflix, and that you have to pay for no matter what, even though if you're never going to use that at all.
Which we had it, and I did not use it once. I have no idea what it is.
That should be the thing. Where if you want to pay more, you get that.
Yeah.
Why is HD video the thing you have to pay more to get?
Yeah.
Also, I just want to point out...
Literally, YouTube has had HD video forever, and that is a free thing you can just get by going on the internet.
Yeah, also, I want to point out Netflix Games is allowed to be on the App Store, but they said no to the Xbox like game streaming thing because each game has to be its own app. And then when Netflix did it, they were like, eh.
Wait, but PS4...
No, never mind. You're cool, Netflix. We don't compete with you, so you're good.
PlayStation Remote plays.
No, it's not.
It is.
You can play games on your PlayStation, but you can't stream them. No, you can't.
I know, because I've done it.
Okay, well, whatever. Anyway,
Eventually,
they don't like Microsoft.
Netflix is eventually going to level out. They're going to end up probably losing maybe 20 million subscribers, I think, total.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be a slow decline. Or
Also, they
they're
might be just losing a lot right now just because they're in content. Like, nothing's coming out right now. Like, Stranger Things is coming out, but not till later this year.
The problem is,
content.
But
well,
not
their original content just
not
isn't...
their big, like Witcher, Stranger Things, I guess Squid Game now. Those are like their big three. Those are the ones that people come back for.
And Bridgerton.
And the problem is that their original
most
content...
show of all time on their show, on their network.
They've lost like literally all their Marvel content. They have nothing left now because Disney took all their Netflix Marvel shows. So basically, all they have is just
they don't have The Office anymore.
Yeah,
they're losing Friends.
They don't have Parks
and Rec.
They already lost
Friends.
Friends
and Parks
is gone.
And Rec.
They don't
have
got
Seinfeld.
They have Community and Seinfeld.
And everyone has Community.
Yeah, because
Sony just
gave
that to everyone because they don't like it.
Yeah. Which is a shame because it's probably the best one of those shows.
Yeah. Anyway, Netflix losing
Netflix
subs.
Stupid. Netflix, please lower
Maybe because
prices.
Netflix has dumb anti-consumer practices that make no sense.
Yeah.
Real dumb.
Which we're not saying the other ones aren't also anti-consumer.
Yeah, that's not like other.
But Netflix is just particularly bad at it.
But Netflix and Hulu are the worst
If you ask
ones.
the people who make the decisions over there why they do what they do, they would be able to explain it to you.
Yeah.
They'd be like, multiple screens is hard.
For you. Yeah, because remember when they got caught just like not letting you stream like certain resolutions, like when you weren't connected to Wi-Fi?
Yeah.
And they were like, it's to save, it's to save your data.
Not
because we don't want to stream high quality video because that takes more bandwidth for our servers. No, to save your
my
data.
Phone, though, and I can use my.
No, I think they built up. They became too big to fail in their own heads.
Yeah,
where now they don't see themselves as ever collapsing, and we're in fact we are in the most turbulent time in the history of
this is the
television.
worst time to be Netflix.
This is the worst time to be a television network or a movie studio at all.
Yeah.
Like, we are in an age where we know streaming is the future, but we don't really even know what that looks like at all. And so everyone's just throwing things at the wall to see what sticks.
Yeah.
Netflix found what sticks, but what they're scaring people away.
And then they're starting to rip it off the wall because they're stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's
What's
take a
next?
quick break before we go into movie time.
No, that's confusing and hard and dumb. Let's just keep going.
Oh.
Alrighty. Moving on
there
to
was
movie
a trailer this week. Sam, did you see this trailer?
Yes, for
Thor, Love and Thunder. This teaser trailer, it was about a minute and a half long.
Thor's a monk.
It was all footage from the first 20 minutes of the movie because they're hiding stuff.
Yes.
Deadpool's
gonna be.
Oh yeah, Deadpool. I think Professor X is gonna show up in his floaty chair.
No, it's gonna be Dr. Moon Knight.
Mephisto?
I have a theory, by the way, regarding
it would
this
be
Moon
interesting
Knight.
if
But,
I think I know where you're going.
Yeah, you think I know. But anyway, so the trailer, it's mostly footage of setting up Thor's arc for this movie, which is he's been heroing and fighting for a long time, and he wants to just sit next to a big tree and find inner peace.
He wants to be Odin now.
He wants to become Odin, but Odin was angry and sat in a chair. He wants to be all.
He wants to be happy and sit in a chair.
But we see him with the Guardians for a little bit, who I think will probably be in this for maybe 10 minutes maximum, and then leave.
I think they'll be in it for the first 20 minutes.
Because I think so we see a couple shots in the trailer. One is of all the Guardians charging into a big fight, and then him kind of standing back and then walking away.
Yeah.
We see one of him first appearing where he throws his jacket back. We see one where the Guardians leave him on a planet with Korg, and we see one of him in a cave working out.
And then there's him running and aging.
Yeah, that's the first shot.
Oh, I like the shot where he's burning off his beer belly.
Oh yeah, where he's working out.
So here's I think that's a cutaway bit. But here's where I think this movie's gonna start. Opening scene where Gore kills a god to establish stakes, right?
Yeah.
Marvel logo, Thor logo, movie start. The Guardians, they're about to enter a big fight. They're like, what are we going to do? All right, here's the plan. Peter Quill does this plan. And then Thor, they're going to be like, all right, let's do this. So they're all going to turn around. Thor's standing on the big rock we see in the trailer.
Yeah.
We're like, oh my gosh, Thor's here. Thor goes, all right, everybody, let's all just chill out and talk it out because he's all about peace now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they're going to be like, no, boo, and then they're going to go fight. He's going to summon Stormbreaker. He's going to look like he's going to go fight, and he decides not to. He's going to walk up the big tree, sit down, going to realize that he's all about peace now. Oh, and also there's going to be a bit where they're like, Thor, where have you been? And he'll be like, I've been losing weight. And then it'll cut to him in the cave with the chains, like doing the thing.
Yeah.
And it'll be like dead silence because that's funny.
And then they'll go, uh-oh, awkward.
Yeah.
They'll say that. They'll say those words exactly.
Yeah, because he's all buff now.
Yeah.
Right? And then, which doesn't make sense. But then the Guardian, he'll be like, Guardians, I want to just live on this rock, and I want to just be by myself. And they're going to be like, that's cool.
And Korg will go, me too. And I'm also a rock.
Korg will go, I'm here too. And then the Guardians will go leave to be in Guardians 3. And then Thor's going to chill on an island for a while. Valkyrie's going to come get him because Gor's killing all the gods. They're going to fight him. He'll go back to Earth where New Asgard is. He'll see Mighty Thor, who's going to be Jane Foster. He'll be like, Jane, what's going on?
Okay, do you think she's going to be like a multiverse person?
I thought about that, and then I saw that the hammer is the same hammer because you can tell it's like a bunch of pieces put back together.
But that could just be a trailer thing, or that's like just not a real thing. Wait, no, in the toys it's a thing.
Yeah, I don't think it's a multiverse thing. Just because,
no, in the toy leaks we know the hammer is like she can control the individual pieces.
Also, I think that'd be less interesting if there's just like it's a different Thor and they're just kind of here.
There's gonna be a shot at one point where because she can control all the shards, not just like the hammer is like a single unit. Where she's gonna be like she's gonna have the stick and she's gonna jump up and all the pieces are gonna like fly behind and make the hammer and she's gonna go bang,
bang, hey guy.
That's how they're gonna kill Gore, a God Butcher. It's gonna be just like that.
Did you see how people were really upset that he just looks like Christian Bale in makeup?
I didn't even see him.
He's not in the trailer, but there's a toy leak with his picture.
Yeah, he's probably gonna look different. He's probably gonna have like CGI wispiness.
In the comics, he's like a full alien guy.
Yeah,
he's got like tentacles. He's got like bone, like mandible things. But like, if you're gonna get Christian Bale,
you gotta put Christian Bale.
You're gonna have him do actual acting. Yeah. You can't just like bring in one of the best working actors and then just have him sit in a voice booth for an hour.
Guy. Yeah, that was never gonna happen.
Yeah, but
And to be fair, with all of the villains in the MCU, the Thor ones so far have always been the ones that are changed the most. With the exception of Loki, almost all the Thor villains we've seen are like pretty different from how they are in the comics.
Yeah, Hell they combined with Enchantress kind of.
Yeah, and then also the axe guy, the Executioner, which is like completely just a totally different guy.
Yeah, because in the comics he's just like I'm a big.
I got an axe and I will axe
you. He's just all about being bad and having a big axe.
Yeah. But in the Thor movie, he just has AK-47s for some reason.
Yeah. Also in the trailer, we see Olympus and we see Zeus, who's going to be Russell Crowe. He'll probably have one scene and die.
Yeah.
We'll probably see Hercules.
What?
I think it'll be. Yeah, we probably will see Hercules.
We'll see a couple.
Because in the comics, Hercules was like for buddies. A little bit there. He was more of an established character.
He was like buddies with Thor.
Yeah. We'll see a couple Greek gods show up.
Yeah.
So Gore. Because all the Asgardian gods are already dead.
Yeah.
So he's got to have someone to slaughter
through. Which one of the Egyptian gods do you think is going to get dead?
What?
Which one of the Egyptian gods?
I was going to get to that in a second. So, they waited a really long time to release this teaser, right?
Yeah.
Like, this movie comes out in July.
This is the shortest gap from trailer to movie.
And it's almost May. And they released it before Doctor Strange 2. And all the footage is from, like, the first 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So they're hiding a lot of stuff. They didn't release this trailer because they wanted to. They released it because they had to.
Yeah.
I don't think it's because Doctor Strange is super linked to this.
I think we might see Moon Knight.
It's because Moon Knight is linked to this.
I hope he is.
I think the gods.
It wouldn't make sense if he wasn't.
Yeah, because in Moon Knight we have literally introduced this entire pantheon of Egyptian gods.
Yeah.
And we have a movie coming up where the main the main villain's motivation
is to kill gods.
To kill a bunch of gods. So my theory is they're not waiting to release the full trailer for Doctor Strange 2. They're waiting for Moon Knight to wrap up, so they can put this out.
No,
I think we have 3 episodes of Moon Knight left, right?
Yeah.
Episode 6, post-credit scene. after everything's done,
Gore the God Butcher kills.
Gore God Butcher shows up
Yeah.
with his magic symbiote sword that won't be named a symbiote because of legal complications. With his magic goop.
He doesn't have a symbiote sword.
His sword is a symbiote.
No, that's Null.
Yeah, I know. His sword is.
Oh, he
a
has
symbiote.
Null's sword.
Does he have
Yeah.
a null sword?
Okay.
Or is it null's sword?
It's Null's sword. There's only one symbiote sword.
Yeah,
Well, I thought he.
that's why it can make
That's
like
why
a
it
million
can kill
weapons
everything.
and can kill everyone. But he's gonna show up with his vague symbiote sword, and he's gonna kill a bunch of the Egyptian gods. And Khonshu is gonna survive, so Moon Knight can keep showing up in things. And he's gonna be like, Moon Knight is a big problem. And then we're gonna cut to black, and then Thor: Love and Thunder in theaters in like a month and a half. That's my theory.
Yeah, I think he'll
Otherwise,
just,
why did we just introduce all these Egyptian gods?
yeah.
And
No, I'm
they
guessing
don't do
that.
anything anyway. So if they're dead, who cares?
I'm guessing there'll
Yeah,
be
all
like
they
a.
do is vow to not do anything.
Yeah.
I'm guessing the post-credit scene for like the last episode of Moon Knight will just be it's like another god meeting, and they're just like, "What if the gods just killed or something?"
I think
And
there's
it'll be like,
probably I think there's a good chance that you know what could also happen in the final episode when Ethan Hawke finally summons their evil god.
Crocodile woman, yeah.
Lady.
They'll summon her and then she'll be dead and they'll be like, what?
Uh-oh, awkward.
And then everyone's gonna be like, why are they
she
dead?
can't be dead because he has powers.
Oh, because they have to shoot a big laser.
That'd be
Yeah, there's gotta
really.
be final
That'd be a
episode.
really,
Skybeam.
really lame ending.
Which pyramid do you think the Skybeam is going to come out of?
It's a big
the
pyramid.
Bass
Giza
Pro
pyramid?
Shop?
Of course.
Bass Pro Shop pyramid. They're gonna go to.
Sam, we can't have a show.
What color do you think it'll be? Blue, purple, or
White.
red?
It's gotta
White.
be purple.
It'll be
because she's
purple.
got purple
Because she's
powers.
got purple
Yeah.
powers.
Purple
No, it'll be a
Skybeam.
big. It'll be a big
But
ghost
it'll
crocodile.
turn blue because that's what it'll do.
They should make it a big
Oh.
ghost
right?
crocodile.
Like, well, now they'll make it into a good
It's gotta
Skybeam.
be purple.
They'll,
or else it's
they'll
not
change it to a
fun.
good Skybeam and it'll turn blue.
But how is it gonna be a good Skybeam? You can't have a good
No,
It'll
they'll turn
undo
it
whatever
white.
the evil Skybeams do.
Skybeams
No,
are either
they'll-
bad or they're not there.
No,
No,
they'll
but
turn it
if
white.
if it starts going and it's like, brrrr, then they gotta undo whatever it does. So
Well, they'll just shut it off and then the Skybeam stops. And
Yeah, they
everything
just
clears
press
up
the no
magically.
Skybeam switch.
The Skybeam will be a.
Because you know how the thing with Skybeams is there's always like a timer going until whatever happens.
Okay,
And if
back
you
to
stop
Thor.
it a second before, it'll just instantly undo itself, including all the damage that's already done. That's what I have.
Back to Thor. Doctor Strange and Mephisto
Okay.
are probably gonna show up.
But this is one of the only. Oh, and the other thing is I still don't know if they're doing the Jane Foster has cancer thing.
I don't think they are.
I don't think they are either.
Didn't they already kind of do that with the?
No, that's
No.
wholly
She was like-
unrelated. Yeah, and they fixed it in 2 seconds, and there were no consequences.
That was she. Basically,
Not really. She
'Cause
was literally just not sick
I
at all.
don't think she's gonna stick around.
I don't remember Thor 2 that well, Sam. I blanked it out.
Because I don't think Natalie Portman's gonna stick around to do this more than one of these.
That's why I think she'll be a multiverse person, maybe, because then she can just leave. No consequences.
No, I think she'll just do a Captain Marvel where she's like,
I gotta go.
And
Yeah,
other gods.
she'll be like, I gotta go fight crime in another planet. And she'll
No,
just
but
do
I
it.
think she wants to be like written off. I think she wants to do a one and done. Because Natalie Portman didn't want to do this. She didn't do 3.
So you think she's probably gonna die?
Well, I don't even know that. I think what they might have, they could kill her. Yeah.
And then she can be like, Thor, here's
She-
your hammer back.
Yeah, I
I'm
think
dead
they're
now.
gonna use
I'm
this
a
as a way
dying-
to kind of reboot this, where I think Asgard will like move back up into space. Thor will get his hammer back.
I don't think Asgard's gonna move back into space.
yeah, no, they're not gonna do that because they already did the Asgard.
It's a
Well, the people can
and
move
the
into
people
space.
are on Earth, so
Well,
why would they move?
if all the
again?
gods in
Like
Olympus are
Olympus.
dead, now there's free real
they
estate.
could, yeah, they could move to Olympus. That could be cool.
Eh, But I think they are going to use this as a way to like reboot the Thor mythology in a way where Thor has to become king at some point.
No, he doesn't.
I know they're doing
The whole
King.
point.
I
of the
know
other
they're
one was
doing
that he
King
isn't.
Valkyrie, but that's otherwise. What was his arc?
His arc is that he learns that he doesn't have to fight.
That's
He
boring.
can
and-
be
That's such a
not.
lame
a-
that's boring, and then the movies
No,
will make
no,
money
He can
because
be
Thor has to
a man
fight.
of peace instead of a man of
No,
war.
he'll
But then how
retire
is he
in like
supposed to
the.
punch things?
He stops punching things.
He'll
But then we
retire
can't
in like
punch
the
things in the
first
movie.
half.
That's his character arc.
But then the movie can't be happen.
Well, that'll happen at the end of the movie.
No, he'll retire in like the first half, and then he'll get reluctantly
He's gotta
drawn
come
back
back
in,
and punch Gore the
and
God
then he'll
Butcher.
punch people
Yeah.
and realize that it's my job to defend this.
Yeah, he'll have to be like, I have to do punching for good.
And
Or
then
good
Valkyrie
punching.
is just like, okay, well, here's your throne back. I'll just go, I don't know, do something
No,
else.
he doesn't
I
have to
guess.
become king. He can just do what he already did before, and he'll just be like,
So,
I have
okay,
to go.
you realize if that happens, then he has no character arc, right?
Okay, how about this? He becomes king.
There's two ends
a
to his
different
character arc.
world.
Either he becomes king, which he's not going to do, or he becomes a man of peace,
Maybe
which is
Valkyrie
what
will
he's
die.
already doing.
Maybe
Sam,
Valkyrie
So
will
why
die.
would they
Here's what he's gonna
change course?
He's gonna take his big magic space axe
Mm-hmm.
and he's gonna fly around space, basically just like doing Knight Rider, but in space with an axe.
I think his...
Just going from town to town.
Maybe
What if-
Valkyrie
what
will
if
die
people
in
with a
battle.
big axe?
What if he plants Stormbreaker and it becomes a new...
Big tree?
Yeah, a new
That's
big magic
stupid.
tree.
Because
Because we know it could hypothetically
makes a
become a
Groot
tree, because it's
tree?
from Groot.
Can it become a tree?
Probably. It's made of tree.
It's made of
I mean,
Groot.
shouldn't it grow another Groot?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Or
how does that work?
Or does Groot only
Could-
grow another Groot
If it wants
like,
it
he
to grow another
transfers
Groot.
its
If he
soul into
dies?
that only piece of him?
Maybe. I
Or
don't
can
know.
you just like cut
Because
off
all those other
infinite
little
arms?
sticks didn't become Groots.
As far as we know.
Wait, but the one that it had a leaf on it, the one to be picked off. Maybe it has to have a
Did
leaf
it?
on it.
It has to have a leaf on it.
Maybe that symbolizes the.
Yeah, exactly.
Or
You know
They
what
just
Groot is
had one
also
do
in?
it.
Fortnite. Now here's what we should.
Groot's in this movie, Max. Should have said that.
No, 'cause
Also notably
Fortnite is
absent,
funny.
Gamora's not with the Guardians.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
she's
'cause
dead.
She's dead.
Well, because the 2014 one's still around from Endgame. And we know she's in Guardians 3, so
Didn't
what's
she
going on
die?
there?
No, she died.
No, she's
What?
still around.
No, the 2014 one
died.
is not in this universe. She's in
'Cause she
2014
left,
still.
Yeah.
No, okay. Remember in Endgame, where she's there. They bring 2014 Gamora into present day, right?
When I don't remember that happening.
Okay, remember the part in Endgame where they go back in time,
Yeah.
right? And then Thanos and his big army, they come to the present day,
Mm-hmm.
right? And it's them from 2014, right?
Yes.
Gamora is with them.
Why would Gamora be with them? I
This
don't-
is just what happens in the movie.
Okay, anyway, continue.
She turns good because future Nebula is good, right?
No, that's evil Nebula.
No, evil Nebula dies.
No,
Yeah.
both Nebulas die.
No, good Nebula. She's in the trailer for the new movie.
No,
No,
Good
she's
Nebula
not.
doesn't die. The
Oh, I
old
thought
one
she
dies.
did.
The evil one dies.
The evil one dies, and then 2014 Gamora stays in the modern time with good old Gamora.
I don't think she is. What? I don't remember her being in there.
Remember the shot where all of the cool hero ladies,
Yeah, but I
Line
thought
up.
she went back.
she's in the big shot. And she didn't go back because no one went back. Everyone either turned to dust or just like sat around and did nothing. And they all went to a funeral together.
No, it says Gamora went missing after they did the end.
Yeah, so she's still around.
Yeah, so she's still around somewhere.
Yeah, she's just
Okay, well,
gone.
whatever. I guess she can still be around.
Also, Kraglin was there. It was fun to see Kraglin.
Who's Kraglin?
He was the one who gets Yondu's big fin and the arrow.
Oh,
Oh,
the
that
guy.
He
guy.
wasn't in
Yeah.
Infinity
The guy
War.
who just goes.
But now he's
Yeah,
back.
because he would have been too OP, because that arrow is like absolutely broken as a
Yeah,
like, an
that
ability.
is such a
Marvel
great-
was there. I mean,
Yeah, but she was like punched one ship and then basically like immediately was knocked
Yeah,
out.
yeah, I knew could've just been like-
up so she could
Until she
steamroll
got
through an
punched
army by
once and got
herself.
knocked out.
Remember that part of the movie? Remember when the big powerful moment where all the women come together and then just one of them just steamrolls through a bunch of people
Mhm.
by herself
And the other
without
ones
any
don't
of
do
the
anything.
assistance from the other ones?
Man,
What
just
should
a
have a-
powerful moment!
They should have a shot where all of the men characters also get together and then they all like just stumble over each other.
No, they all get together and then Spider-Man just like punches one guy and that's it.
And then they're like done. They're like, okay, we can just
That's
leave
it.
now.
What a powerful moment! They didn't like throw the gauntlet between.
That would
each
be
other.
like if, you know, the Avengers team up shot in the first Avengers?
Yeah.
If like right after that Thor just like lightninged every
just like
alien.
hit Loki in the face and then the movie ended. And they're like, "Wow, we learned teamwork."
Yeah.
Anyway, Thor. It's coming out soon. One of the 3 Marvel movies I'm somewhat anticipating.
Yeah,
The rest I don't really care about at all.
Phase 4. Phase 4, the only 2 movies that I actually care about from Phase 4 are this one and Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange, I'm excited for, not
else
even
is
because like
coming out?
95-year-old Patrick Stewart's showing up.
And I guess
I-
Black Panther 2 is supposed to... Is that part of Phase 4?
Yes,
And
this
I
is
guess
all
that one
phase
too.
4.
That one as
But, like,
well.
Sam Raimi's doing Doctor Strange 2, which is the only really reason I care. Because Sam Raimi is the best
Mhm.
director.
He's
But,
just Spider-Man.
He
Just
also
ignore
made Evil
Spider-Man.
Dead and Darkman.
No, he's just
Dark
Spider-Man.
Man.
He made Darkman.
Oh, Darkness Man. That was the name of your dumb
That was
character.
I swear
No, it wasn't the
not.
name. It was like
Anyway.
Hoodie Man or something.
Thor 2.
Pretty sure
I
it
mean,
was
what
Hoodie
is
Man.
this? Thor 4. because I
Is
like
the only
Taika
Marvel character to
Waititi.
get 4 solo movies?
Yes, he's the first one.
Yeah,
Or the
he's
first one,
now.
But I'm sure Captain Marvel will get a million.
This
movies.
has to be the last one, right? I mean, they can't do Thor 5.
They
Chris
could
Hemsworth says
definitely do Thor
he
5.
says he wants to keep doing
They
it.
absolutely could do a Thor 5. No
Yeah,
one's
they can-
stopping
It just
them.
feels weird because all the other guys only got like.
Well, he's already done 4, so why not 5?
Well, Thor's characters are usually what end up causing problems for the other characters later.
Because
down
all of
the
his
line.
villains are like actual gods.
Yeah, because all his
Captain
villains are on a higher
Captain
level.
America, like
in
Spider-Man
number
and Iron
2
Man
it
villains
was
are
an
just
elf.
missiles.
Remember in number 2 it
Yeah,
was an evil
we
elf
don't
man.
count that movie as a Thor.
That's why this is the third one.
This is Thor 3. Thor 2 does not exist.
And then
Don't
the
talk
other
about
one I want to see is Guardians 3 because I like those movies.
Yeah, the Guardians
on their
movies have been
own
good.
from everything else that's going on. Everything else, it's like I'm so burnt out at this point with just the amount of stuff they've been pumping out.
Yeah.
Like I really enjoyed that period of time in between Spider-Man and Moon Knight where it was just 3 months of no Marvel stuff going on. And I was just like, oh, break.
And then they were like, press on the gas.
And then now we're
I'm
getting
kind of sick of the unconditional hype
And
for
now we're
like
getting-
every single Marvel.
now we're getting
thing.
Moon Knight, Miss Marvel, Doctor Strange 2, Thor, She-Hulk, Black Panther, What If, all right next to each other, and I'm just like, oh, it's like a headache. It's just, can I have a pause, just 15 minutes, where there's just no Marvel, there's no people on Twitter hyping up things that no one cares about.
Yeah. No, because
There's
She-Hulk's
no
gonna be
dumb
coming out, and
theorizing.
everyone's gonna be like, "Oh my gosh, guys, She-Hulk's gonna be
Yeah,
the
that's
best
the other
thing
thing
ever
that annoys
created."
me is it's okay to not be excited.
You don't have
for
to
a thing.
like everything.
Yeah.
You can just not care.
Well, I
Watch
mean,
it if you feel like it,
So
and then
far,
move on.
none of the Marvel shows except for What If have really missed. Not tremendous. Hawkeye was still it wasn't it wasn't bad. It wasn't as good as the other ones, but it wasn't there hasn't
more
been
excitement.
There hasn't been a bad one yet.
Yeah.
So far they've all been pretty good.
But it
I don't know, I'm
doesn't
just
mean
sick
it
of
warrants.
I'm just sick of
Hype.
the crazy hype.
Yeah.
When Spider-Man 3, when Spider-Man No Way Home was coming out, everyone was like, "This is probably the greatest movie ever," and then it came out, and then a week later, no one cared.
I do love my favorite. I thought that was all funny because everyone had spent years trashing everything
Yeah.
Andrew Garfield made
And
in
then that-
Spider-Man 3,
and then they-
that came out, and everyone pretended it was their favorite
Yeah.
favorite movie.
And now it's
Which
really
would find
annoying.
it really
When, by the
Because-
way, no, those movies are still bad.
Yeah, no, and now all the kids in my age group think that they grew up with those guys, or they have always loved those guys. I'm like, no, you didn't care about them at all, or know they
because
existed
the Amazing
before this
Spider-Man
movie.
movies were garbage.
when I
That
first saw those movies,
Spider-Man
I didn't
was
really like them that
only
much.
good in No Way Home. That character was trash in his own movies.
Now everyone's like, no, Andrew's the best guy. It's like, no,
And yeah,
you don't
he is
care
a good
about
Spider-Man, just not in
him. Just
his
not
movies.
in any of his movies.
Yeah, it's just
Which really just shows that it was really probably more of a directorial problem in those
yeah.
movies. than his fault.
I'm so burnt out with Marvel stuff. It's after Guardians 3 comes out next year,
I'm gonna check the camera real quick. Keep going.
I'm just oh, I think I'm done. Eventually I'm gonna skip one of these, right? People are gonna start doing that.
They're hitting the bottom of the barrel.
Eternals was bad, their first really bad movie.
Yeah, that was really bad.
But we didn't even skip that one.
But eventually people did. A lot of people did. And two, eventually they're gonna start skipping main ones because when they put out so much stuff with all the TV shows too, people are just gonna be they're gonna have to pick one that they don't see. But I just look at what they're doing. It's Black Panther 2, Captain Marvel 2, Ant-Man 3, Fantastic Four reboot for the third time. Yay! More Deadpool happening. Woohoo! More of that shtick. It's let's take a 2-year pause.
It's just, I think it's gotten
I mean, there
too
was
big.
a year break between Endgame and Infinity War.
And it was in between Spider-Man and Black Widow. There was a year or 2 years.
Yeah, I mean, we had pauses.
I was that was good.
Okay,
But then they immediately dumped 6 movies within the course of half a year.
I think right now we're seeing a lot of them come out all at once just because COVID delayed so many of them.
Yeah.
I think
I
also
think
though,
next year the schedule will be a little bit more normal. This is 3 years compounded of Marvel movies coming out at once.
This year, we're gonna have 4 next year.
Yeah, but they're gonna be more parsed out. Like these are all coming out within the course of like months.
I don't know. It's just the ideas don't excite me.
I'm kind of sick of like everything being so connected with all this stupid multiverse stuff. Because it's like sometimes you just want like bad guy defeats bad guy. Like I don't want big
we had
multiverse
Morbius.
Garbage.
Morbius didn't have any multiverse and was bad guy punches good guy.
Let's make more
but that's not
like
MCU.
Morbius. Can
we need
make
less
everything
Morbius. We need less Morbius actually.
That helps.
No, but like that's the reason like Moon Knight's kind of good right now. I mean, it's like great for a lot of reasons.
Yeah,
but it's kind of
like
nice because it's not
because
it's not like multiverse. It's like
He's
guy's
doing his
summoning
own
this
thing.
guy. I'm gonna fight him.
Yeah, and if I didn't want to watch it, I just wouldn't, and I'd be fine.
You don't have to worry about it because he's doing his own thing.
Like with Doctor Strange 2, it's like you gotta watch the cartoon show. It's like, do I really though?
But like, why?
Can I not?
I don't want to watch.
I'm sick of everything trying to be as big as Endgame because it takes away from like the special feeling you get from those big team.
I don't think anything has tried to be as big as Endgame yet.
Well, no, but it's like the trying to do big team ups type of stuff.
That's always been a thing since Avengers.
But it's like no, but I mean that's like why Endgame was so like cool though, because it was like the ending to that era. And now I don't know what I'm just kind of rambling at this point, but basically I don't know.
Stop teaming up with superheroes.
No, it's just that there's so many combining
What they're obviously
stuff.
leaning into is this whole multiverse thing, right?
Yeah, that's their big.
And
really
that so quickly becomes just a barrage of just throwing things you recognize at
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
with no meaning,
It also
which just does nothing for me, no matter what it is. At this point, throw a million pictures of the Millennium Falcon at me.
it
I'm
also
never gonna
strips
care.
any stakes and continuity from a universe.
Yeah, because it's just we'll just move on to this one, and he'll just show up here. Like I am so not looking forward to Professor X showing up in Doctor Strange 2, because it's just a super huge takeaway from Logan, which was a perfect poetic ending to that character, and now he's just gonna show up for Doctor Strange 2. He's back, baby. He's alive again.
At least Wolverine's
Gonna talk to Bruce Campbell. Woohoo!
Yay! All right. Next news.
Jurassic World.
This is gonna be. This is the best.
Speaking of a movie where they just throw things at you,
insane things that have been said. Jurassic World 3 director says that there is another new dinosaur called the Giga. Giga. Yeah, he's a big boy.
Big chunky boy.
And that it is supposed to be like the Joker. It just wants to watch the world burn. He described it as similar to the Joker. This dinosaur is the Joker dinosaur.
A literal giant.
Yeah, no,
lizard.
I put that in the thing here. So it says, "My father was a T-Rex. We live in an ecosystem."
You know how I got these arms? I couldn't reach for anything in middle dinosaur school.
And my mother, she tried to throw a knife at him, but her arms were also too small.
My father tried to cut me, but he couldn't reach my face because his arms were so tiny.
Yeah, this is dumb. This is
so
really
glad this
dumb.
franchise is
What on
ending.
earth
the
does
Joker,
that
baby.
mean? What on earth does
a
this
dinosaur.
mean?
No,
It means it's.
What does this mean?
I want to see a dinosaur in like full makeup, like clown makeup, and like a big green wig.
It means this dinosaur is the bad guy of the movie.
Is it gonna blow up a hospital? Like what?
No, it's
Is
gonna
it
be
gonna
like
flip a giant coin onto
it's
the
gonna
main
be like-
character?
it's gonna be Gorilla Grodd, but as a dinosaur. I think is what
But
he's
Gorilla
saying.
Grodd isn't like the Joker. Gorilla Grodd's just an angry monkey.
I think the guy wants it to be like. I don't know if he's doing smart dinosaur. Is he doing like smart?
No,
dinosaur?
he said he just wants the dinosaur wants to watch the world burn.
Because here's what's happening.
He just it just
He
cuts
just
to him
wants
randomly.
chaos.
It just cuts to him randomly.
So-
He just is in the corner. Goes.
Listen, Harvey,
and it translates
I'm a
to, "I wanna watch the
dinosaur."
world burn."
Here's what's happening. Because in this one, all the dinosaurs are just out in the world, right?
Uh-huh.
But the bit will be that all of the normal dinosaurs just want to like do their own thing and live by themselves and eat grass or whatever.
Mhm.
But this one is like just attacking people because it's bad and likes violence. And so then the evil military and or corporation that'll be the human bad guys will use it as an excuse to kill all the dinosaurs. Then so our heroes will have to stop the bad corporation into a
Honestly,
government.
killing all the dinosaurs
And
is
also
kind of the
kill
better
the
thing
big
to do.
evil dinosaur as well. And then they will at the end, and then all the dinosaurs will live free in nature because nature good. And then the movie will end.
No, that's just kind of stupid. Honestly, I would agree with the
Max,
villains.
This is Jurassic World 6.
I would.
What other outlet do you go than stupid?
I'm a dinosaur.
He just like runs to like the
Pratt,
big.
let me tell you about society. Do you want to know how I found this amber?
Here's subtitles.
We just do our character.
Yeah, it's just
They
our
just saw our
character, but
character.
instead
He's
of
just-
pooping in the street, he wants to blow up
No,
children's hospitals.
He's just in the corner of the entire movie, and he just goes. And
Yeah,
little
he's giving
subtitles.
these monologues and no one knows what's going on.
It's just little subtitles in the corner. I want to.
Does that make Blue like Batman?
Yes. No, Blue's a girl, so it's Batwoman.
Justice for dinosaurs.
Well, I'm so glad that.
Oh.
How long's that been going? When did Jurassic World came out in 2015?
Yeah, I think so.
So 7 years of those movies. Finally done with those. Thank God.
No, they'll reboot it.
They will at some point, but at least. Oh, we'll be on.
Jurassic Universe. This time there's. Gosh, this time there's
Everything's got a
multiverse.
multiverse.
I love
We
multiverses.
live in an ecosystem.
Someone made that very fast.
No, he's a Joker, but he just runs up and like eats the other dinosaur eggs.
His elaborate plan is just he just stomps on it.
Yeah, he just like bites the other dinosaur.
You know, in the Dark Knight, Joker has this like long elaborate plan involving like morals and like the two boats.
Mm-hmm.
This dinosaur is just gonna stomp on stuff.
No, this dinosaur's super smart, but everyone else is so
He tries to
stupid.
execute this plan, but all of his lackeys are just angry, hungry dinosaurs. And they're just like, he's like, all right, go, and then they just start eating each
Honestly,
other.
that'd be a pretty funny movie. Like if they just made that a movie, that'd probably be better than this movie.
This is the one I was trying to find.
Jurassic World 7, Dinosaur Doesn't Mankind. Bottom text.
We live in an ecosystem. Bottom text.
Bottom text memes
This
give me
guy
every time.
ratioed the announcement for this thing.
Let me see the announcement. The Giga. It's like oh my god, they put that in the tweet.
That's what the director said. I was quoting the director, Tucker. The director said
It's
this.
like the Joker. And then it just looks like a normal dinosaur.
It's just a regular dinosaur.
His master
But
plan
he's
is
a
just to,
Joker.
like,
He's the Joker this time.
he just goes around and like steps on other dinosaur eggs. And that's like his whole
Madness
plan.
is like gravity. Bat saw.
He's gonna broadcast this.
And then
plan on
here's this
television.
art from one of the multiverse DC things where there's a Joker Velociraptor.
Okay. I think that's enough dunking on Jurassic
Here's
World.
a meme of that thing, but they put the dinosaur head on the Joker.
Whatever boosts Twitter engagement.
Oh.
Obviously, he just said that because Joker's popular.
Yeah. He was like, what if I say like
Because everyone loves the Joker.
Either that or he's just really stupid.
probably
Either
both.
one is possible.
Honestly, probably both.
We are talking about the man who got fired from episode 9, so.
Yeah, you gotta be really dumb to get fired
gotta
from
be
episode
real
9
dumb.
because that movie was a train wreck.
He suggested his Joker dinosaur.
He was like, "What if I make a Jedi who's like the Joker?" Just every movie he's a part of, he wants to put in the Joker in it.
No. He wants to put the Joker dinosaur.
Yeah.
Like, since he's been like 19 in film school, this has been like his dream. Every time he pitches a movie, he's like, and then there's a
When he got
dinosaur
into
that's
Star
like
Wars,
the Joker.
they were like, "Okay, so how do we end Star Wars Episode 9?"
He's like,
And then there's some guy who's like, "We could
dinosaur.
bring Palpatine back," and the Disney CEO was like, "Okay, I like it. What do you have for us, Jerry? Colin, what do you got for us?"
So, big twist.
Hear me out.
The dark side.
Ray goes to the dark side, right? She goes onto the dark side, and on the dark side, there's a Joker dinosaur.
So, guys, I think I'm thinking about
and
having
he says, "Watch out, Batman!"
It's like, and then he eventually gets to work at DC when he's like 80 years old, and he forgets what the Joker is.
He's like,
wait, what was I doing?
What was the joke?
like this movie makes like $3 billion, and he gets to make whatever he wants. And then he's like, oh crap, I forgot what my dream project is.
So he's like, you work on this new Lego Ninjago film. He's
why
scary
did
Joker.
the Joker dinosaur? What does that mean? What does that
Joker.
even mean?
He's like the Joker.
He's like the Joker.
We're just gonna start describing everything like that. Like, how would you describe Shadow the Hedgehog? Well, he's
like Sonic, but he's like
Sonic,
the Joker.
but if he was the Joker,
Only Sonic could be the
only
Joker.
Sonic could be the Joker.
No, the real reason is that the movie Joker made $1 billion, and everyone loves the Joker. So if we just say everything is like the Joker,
How
then
would you
everything will make $1
describe the
billion.
new villain of Downton Abbey? Well, he's like the Joker.
So, season 27 of CSI Miami. What's the villain? So he's like the Joker, but he's a dinosaur.
So this new Metroid game, how would you describe the villain? Well,
no,
he's a
there's gonna be-
Metroid, but he's like the Joker.
No, all the cop shows are gonna sink
How would you
solo.
describe the Mario movie? Well, Bowser's in it, but he's like the Joker.
And then
911.
Shigeru Miyamoto's just like,
What?
What does that mean?
What is Joker?
One of the cop shows makes their villain like the Joker, but his name is just the
The
heckler.
clown.
jokester.
The heckler.
The heckler.
No, he does.
And no, it's the heckler, and then
He
it's
just interjects at like
just-
random points and
He
ruins
just
other
goes
people's
to comedy
jokes.
shows
No, the villain-
and just heckles the guy on stage.
no, the villain is just Statler and Waldorf from the Muppets,
Yeah, those guys.
and then it's
Yeah.
like the Joker, but they're Muppets.
Yep. He's like the Joker, but he's a Muppet.
So we got this
This
Muppets.
new
We got
Muppet
this
film.
new Muppet show. What's the villain? He's like Kermit, but the Joker. Did we already do that?
Have we done that yet? Okay, let's
the
move
Joker,
on.
baby.
Okay.
Discovery.
Oh, I'm gonna do this one.
Yeah,
The
okay.
Joker, baby.
So Discovery
Mhm.
just had their $40 billion merger with Warner Media.
Mhm. Mhm.
Woo.
They're wishing
Darn
to
media.
reshuffle the DC brand
Uh-oh.
now that they are in control.
Uh-oh.
So they want to make the company its own content vertical,
Right.
which is different from the horizontal content.
You don't
method.
want a content horizontal.
Right,
That's
right.
not
You want a
good.
vertical content method.
And the biggest mistake you'd make is having a lateral content.
You don't want a 2D.
You also don't want a
plane.
diagonal content method. We all know what happens with the diagonal.
Yeah, you
That's how you end up with the Joker.
You don't want it to
dinosaur.
be a parabola. That's
Yeah,
when
you don't
want that.
Things
You don't
get
want that.
real wonky.
You want a nice, steady vertical content method. They are looking for a Kevin Feige-like figure to not oversee necessarily the creative aspects, but to jump between all like the different TV and movie and game divisions to ensure proper corporate synergy between them.
What you should have had from the beginning.
You know, Discovery is kind of like the Joker.
You just want to see the world burn.
hang on 1 second. I think I accidentally deleted a thing here.
They just wanted to discover.
Oh shoot. Okay. Sam.
Booger, press the undo button.
No, but it's a long. Okay.
There we go.
Okay, there we go.
Just press
Okay.
What is Schmivelf?
Okay.
What?
It's trying
Shelf.
to autocorrect it to Schmivelf. All right.
Okay, just don't know how to spell shelf. Anyway, so the company believes that top shelf characters like Superman have been languishing and need to be revitalized, but they also think that the movie Joker is an example of how a second shelf character can be exploited.
Joker's not a second
But
shelf-
wait, let's do this at the end. They also think Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn is an example of that similar practice.
Yeah.
They would also like to see more synergy between the movies being released theatrically and HBO Max series like Peacemaker and the Penguin. They want more
They
stuff
want
like
to do
that.
the Marvel. They
Yeah.
want to do the Marvel.
They wanna
Overall, they hope to give DC a more coherent creative and brand strategy in order to compete with Marvel. So
All
basically,
things that make perfect sense.
David Zaslav walked in, saw that DC is a massive train wreck
Hey, you guys are.
where no one knows what's going on, and when we just need a guy who can run between all of your dumb different divisions and just tell people what's going on.
Yeah, because Marvel has.
Oh, and apparently they had interviewed people for this Kevin Feige like job, but all of them turned them down.
They gotta get.
Honestly,
They gotta get.
I completely understand why.
Yeah, it's not an
Because
easy job.
gonna
Who
be
the
so
heck wants
stressful.
this job?
They
Yeah.
have to
Nobody.
clone Kevin Feige.
No,
gotta
it's
clone
because
I'll do it. Call me Discovery.
No, okay.
I'll do it.
Think about it.
I'll fix it.
They have divided their fan base up so much that anyone who they would hire is going to be hated by somebody.
Yeah.
Because they have their main DCEU, right? Which they're trying to reboot massively. They have their Joker standalone film, which may or may not be getting a sequel. We have Matt Reeves' Batman universe, which is getting a trilogy and also HBO Max shows. And then we have this ravenous, angry Twitter cult who dictates and harasses us constantly and has been doing it for years that no one can control.
That just wants Zack Snyder
under
back.
any circumstance.
Actually, you should hire Zack Snyder because he's much better in making...
And-
I haven't left my couch for 15 years.
Hey, Sam, according to the Oscars, Zack Snyder's Justice League had the greatest film moment ever conceived. But anyway, like, imagine you. What the interview probably was they walked into the room, showed him a piece of paper that just said #restore the Snyderverse, and they were just like, "Can you fix this?
Yes.
Can you stop this?
I can fix it. Give it to me. I'll do it, Warner Brothers."
But it's like there's so much stuff going on that there's no way you can wrangle this into control. No matter what you do. Because it's not even that you have so much stuff going on, it's that you have so much different talent attached to different things. And if you cut some stuff but keep others, you're going to make people angry and leave. You're going to cost them millions of dollars because of deals you've already signed.
Yeah.
You're years into this DCEU, whether or not that goes anywhere that profitable, they're still invested in it. It's absurd, and I don't think it's ever going to be fixed at this point. I think it's too fractured.
You have to. It will be another good 4, 5, 6 years before we get a cohesive DC universe.
They need to
and also
release
they're right.
all the movies that they're currently having, and then
like,
they need to stop
You can't.
and reevaluate.
You can't
things.
fix it at this point.
Yeah.
You just have to let it happen.
It's done.
And also they're right. Why is Superman not had a film in almost 10 years now?
Why is the only Superman content
it's
out
Superman.
currently one where he does taxes and raise children?
When people think of superheroes, he is always the first one that comes to mind.
Him and like
when
Captain
you hear
America,
about a new
like, the two
superhero
biggest guys.
getting
It's
announced
Superman.
and he can't fly, they go, "Well, why can't he fly?" And the reason why they always say that is because Superman flies.
Literally.
Because Superman is he is the definition of a superhero.
And it's like, my biggest question with the whole Superman thing is, what did Henry Cavill do to where they are this resistant to bringing him back for a movie? Like, what did he do?
I don't know.
I think they committed
you know
too
what?
hard
Honestly,
to firing him.
How did he stay? How has Amber Heard and Ezra Miller stayed on to this stuff, and Henry Cavill is the one that got the boot?
I think it's because Henry Cavill genuinely wants the DC universe to be what Marvel is.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't keep going along with what it was.
Yeah.
And the vision was just so separate that they couldn't work
He
with
probably
it.
also wouldn't even come back if they offered it.
Because the explanation was...
Because if you've seen any interview with Henry Cavill about anything, the guy's a massive nerd. He's a huge nerd about everything. That you can't have someone like that who has such a clear vision for what the character should be.
Let him direct the movie.
Right before
Just
we did the
let him
show,
direct
I just saw a clip of him explaining like what he wanted to do with Superman, where he wanted to like go off what he learned in Man of Steel and like have him grow as a character into like a wiser Superman. And I was like, that's spot on. Should have done that. But DC is like, no, he wanted, because according to them, it was because he wanted too much money. And I'm like, it can't just be that. Because they would have just worked that out. I'm sure The Rock also wanted a lot of money, and they just gave it to him. And I'm not saying they're comparable in terms of like star power, but like they've been throwing millions of dollars at nothing for years.
See, that's the
zero
thing.
consequences.
The Rock and Henry Cavill are not comparable in star power.
Yeah.
But The Rock and Superman absolutely are. And if you already have a guy playing Superman that everyone likes,
no one dislikes
you should
Henry
do
Cavill
everything in your power to keep him as Superman.
Yeah, who's a fine actor.
dislike Man of Steel, but no one's problem with Man of Steel is
Was
that Henry
Henry
Cavill is a bad Superman.
Yeah, it was
Everyone agreed he's a good Superman. They just didn't like the story he was in.
It was like an Andrew Garfield Spider-Man situation. It wasn't his fault that the movie sucked.
He was a good Spider-Man.
Yeah, he was fine.
The story was just awful.
It was the story and the writing.
And he showed he could do both, because even in Justice League, where he had a CGI face, and that movie is
you see that more
massive pile of garbage. That version of Superman that doesn't make any sense to be in that movie.
Yeah.
He can still play that version.
Tucker, Zack Snyder cut was the best movie ever made.
And also, it would help with that. Because you just keep them around, and they'll be cool with it. Zack Snyder's not doing the movie.
But he's in there.
But
they should just do a Tom Clancy, and they just attach his name to everything.
Zack Snyder presents, and it's just a movie he's not involved with.
He's not involved at all.
Zack Snyder presents The Flash.
That honestly probably would fix it.
If they just put Zack
If
Snyder...
they just start putting his name on stuff and he's just not involved.
No, because he'd get on, what's his social media platform of choice?
I don't know.
Truth
Is
Social.
he on social media?
He's on, like, one weird app, and he's, like, the only person on it.
Probably like it's like the Jeremy Renner
like
app.
Tumblr.
Yeah, it was like that.
The Zack Snyder
No,
app.
he'd get on there, and he'd be like, I'm not involved with this, and then they'd start a riot.
Anyway.
He needs to just come out and just tell everyone it's never happening, and then leave.
Yeah.
The problem is that he keeps egging it on, which like, hey, you got the Snyder cut. It was real. They finished it. It's out. Everything else that they want was never anything beyond a note card with a sketch on it.
To an extent, I do feel bad that he had this
big plan.
He wanted to be the Kevin Feige.
Yeah.
Of all the people they turned down, he wanted that job.
Yeah.
And they refused to let him do it. And they refused to let him do it for so long that it has completely fractured any hope in heaven that they have of creating a cohesive universe now.
He probably would have done it fine, because his kind of Justice League
his
was
kind of
pretty
Justice League
good.
was fine. It wasn't flawless, but at least there was a vision there.
It was like there was actually a
there was a story.
But Sam, big man have X, and if you take away his X, he get real scared.
He gets scared and the butterfly kill him.
Yeah, but
so dumb.
yeah, Discovery, try your best, man. But that ship has sailed. That is never coming back.
That ship didn't sail. That ship freaking Titanic itself and is currently stuck in the bottom of the Pacific.
Yeah.
So sad. DC is great, and they just
maybe
banned it.
That Flash movie. Hey, at least we have the Batman.
We have one good DC movie.
And that's going to get more movies, so at least we're getting that.
Well, maybe. Hopefully if they don't cancel that universe.
I don't know.
Oh, no, this was too good.
Matt Reeves might want to actually have a vision for a movie, and they might not like that.
You say you have a plan?
Wait a minute.
Matt.
Wait, this has a story and it's going somewhere? I don't think you know how you do things here.
Matt.
That's not how we do things here.
Come on.
What if we throw in a couple more characters, and we
When is
cut
Margot
everything
Robbie's
and
Harley
completely
Quinn
wrong?
showing up?
How many butt shots are in the movie? If there's less than 20, you're going to have to put the number up.
Matt. So you're telling me the Joker isn't in this one? How are we supposed to put the Joker in it then? But the Joker isn't in this one, Dave. But the Joker is muddy.
But
Joker's...
they just break.
They just don't.
You tell him the Joker's not in it. He just like shuts down.
And then they're like, "Wait, he's a dinosaur?" And he's like, "No, what? Where did you get
Why
that?"
would you think he's a dinosaur, you moron?
But
Moving on to the next
the
news.
city's flooded, and there's no sharks with Joker makeup. Yes,
That's correct.
What? I don't.
But why?
Okay, but at least Superman's in it,
Jason
right?
Momoa is in final negotiations to star in the Minecraft movie. For what on earth is this headline?
Keep reading, Sam. Keep reading.
The film is set to be directed by Napoleon Dynamite and Nacho Libre director Jared Hess.
Mama will love this movie.
This is the weirdest thing I've ever read in my entire life.
What?
Sam, the Minecraft movie is back.
Okay, I actually do like this
is.
director.
The director's great.
As much as for some reason people hate Napoleon Dynamite, I love Napoleon Dynamite. It's a great movie.
Understand humor.
Same with Nacho Libre. Great movie.
Although we've seen it like
honestly,
50
if the
times.
Minecraft movie is anything like those, which I think it easily could be, because Minecraft is a universe in which there is no story, so you basically have complete creative freedom.
Yeah.
I think this could be really funny.
What is this though?
I have no idea, but I like it.
What? Is he Steve? Is it gonna be Steve?
I don't understand how it's
I
gonna be
would
Minecraft.
totally be down with a Jason Momoa Minecraft Steve.
Why?
Because we live in the weirdest timeline.
I just can't picture it. Like, how are they gonna do live action Minecraft?
Jason Momoa stuffed into like a blue shirt and jeans, and they're just like wandering around in the woods.
Okay, so they could take this in a couple of ways, a couple of different directions. What I think they're gonna do here is it'll be like a survival comedy. So think like Hatchet, but if it was like
Jason
Napoleon
Momoa.
Dynamite and it was Jason Momoa was the main character.
So,
I think
I think this could work.
But it's not going to just be that, because there has to be a lot of characters, and there has to be a scene where he fights a big ender dragon.
I don't think he'll fight the dragon in this one.
He's got to fight the big dragon.
Not in the first
says
one.
you got to fight the big dragon.
No, that's not going to happen until like the second or third one.
No. Studio says
make
big
it
dragon.
so.
Big dragon equal money. Fight big
No,
dragon.
it doesn't.
People want to see Jason Momoa fight a big dragon.
Said who? No one said that.
The studio says that.
The studio doesn't know what the
They
Ender
sent me
Dragon
an
is.
email on my computer.
They have never played Tucker.
So
They haven't
basically-
played Minecraft.
They
They don't know what
walked
that
in on their
is.
kid fighting the big dragon, and nothing with the big dragon.
this
in
is
the movie.
going to be Jumanji.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is going to end up being.
This is
Jumanji.
just going to be Jumanji.
Oh. It'll literally be sucked into Minecraft.
I don't think it'll be sucked.
No,
into
I don't think
Minecraft.
he'll get sucked
It'll
in.
get sucked into.
If he does, that's just lame.
Also, there has to be other. It can't just be a survival thing, because there has to be other characters in it.
Yeah, we have Alex. We have Eve.
There's got to be other. There's got to
We
be a
can do-
barrage
we
of
can-
fun.
You can have some
characters.
goofy villagers, and they're doing goofy
We'll
villager
have a goofy
things.
little
We gotta
animal
have a
sidekick.
comedic supporting cast. You have to have a strong female character.
Okay, Alex,
Alex.
strong female. Villagers, comedic.
We gotta have
goofy
a plot.
goofballs.
We gotta have a goal. What else are they gonna do other than fight the Ender Dragon?
They should just get that guy that made those
don't know.
Minecraft shorts with the
No,
villagers.
I don't think this is gonna have like. I think this is just gonna be like a printout studio picture. I think this guy is doing it just because they offered him a check.
Yeah, I think this
Yeah.
is just
and
gonna be
literally
Jumanji.
every other single person turned them down
This
and
will
or
just be
quit, because this has been forever to be made. I mean,
Yeah.
they've gone through like 4 different directors. It was gonna be Rob McElhaney at one point. It's like it's been a million different people.
Yeah, this is.
It was
I don't
gonna
know.
be the
I'm
Detective
curious to
Pikachu
see
guy,
where
I
this
think, at
goes.
one point.
Alrighty, Lionsgate developing a new Blair Witch movie. Okay, cool.
Woo.
Lionsgate is looking into developing a new Leprechaun movie with hope that Warwick Davis will return. That's not
Even
going
though
to
he's
happen.
old.
Leprechaun 5.
Amazon
More
will
than that.
likely acquire the live-action Voltron film directed by Rawson Marshall Thunder.
Thurber
Thunder.
Thunder.
That's it. That's the whole title. That's the whole headline.
Yes. Well, they're gonna get it, Sam.
Who cares? Streets of Rage film in the world from Sonic the Hedgehog producers.
Oh, sorry, not in the world. From the producers. I don't know why I put that.
Yeah, that makes no sense. So Streets of Rage film is being produced by the people who produced Sonic the Hedgehog. Script has already been written by John Wick creator Derek.
So this will be the second big movie made out of a Sega video game franchise. So they'll be able to use that Sega logo again.
Honestly, I think these are the right people for it.
Just do Streets of Rage.
Because it's
John
literally
Wick
just a
type
guy
thing.
who runs around and beats people up in
Yeah,
the
if
street.
this is just
like that's all he does.
If this is just a kid's John Wick, where just a guy runs around on the road. And
Yeah,
beats
it'll
people
just
up.
be John Wick, but instead of guns, he just punches people.
Yeah, that's all right. That's pretty cool.
fine. I'm good. I'm cool with that.
Make it an hour and a half though. If it's over 2 hours,
Yeah,
I
don't make
care.
it too long. Riverdale star KJ Apa and 1883 actress Isabel May cast as Zan and Jana. You mean Jan?
Is it Jan? I think it's
Zan and Jan,
Oh,
the Wonder Twins, for the HBO Max original film.
Sam, we got our Wonder Twins. They're getting a movie before The Flash.
We live
Max,
in the
shut up.
weirdest timeline.
Who? Why? Why and who? Why?
Because they got a crossover with Peace.
But it's Wonder Twins.
Uh,
It's what the cartoon
form
where the
of-
spandex purple outfits siblings
form of
turn into water and various
form
animals.
of rodent. For those of you who don't know, the Wonder Twins are characters conceptualized for the 80s cartoon DC's Super Friends, in where the Justice League fight basically no one, and sort of just wander around.
Everyone's seen Super Friends.
No one has seen Super Friends. They wander around, sometimes preventing natural disasters and occasionally like stopping a ne'er-do-well.
They're literal, like if
we used to watch it all the time, but it is a god boring show.
So you know how Aquaman's like the joke of the like that's the
he talks to fish. The invisible jet, Aquaman talking to fish. Basically every dumb thing from the DC universe came from this show.
Well, like Aquaman is the joke of DC. Like the Wonder Twins are like the bigger joke. Because like, they're just so stupid.
They were also created for this show. Aquaman wasn't made for this show, but anyway, I was explaining their powers are as follows.
Yes.
They are aliens from insert alien planet.
And they have a pet monkey.
They have a blue pet monkey who has all the powers of a regular monkey. He's just blue.
And he's named Gleek.
And he's named Gleek.
And he has a cape.
He's got a superhero outfit. Each one has a magic ring that when those rings make contact...
Do they have rings?
Yes, they have magic rings. When they don't have their rings on, they don't have powers.
Oh,
they touch their magic rings together. And when they touch their magic rings together, one of them has the power to turn into any water thing. So like steam, ice... like ice sculptures of things,
turn into
a sentient bucket of water, and then the
other one can turn
into any animal. So like in Teen Titans Go, which they made fun of this exact thing, one of them is actually useful, and one of them is absolutely worthless because he just turns into water.
It's a good show.
These characters are and now in the Super Friends show, they like never do anything. So when he turns into they'll have to cross a ravine and he'll turn into like an ice bridge and then they'll just be able to cross the bridge. Like he was very much a character of we have to come up with a stupid solution for this 5-second problem.
Can he like create more matter?
Who knows? Sometimes.
Because like if he can turn into an ice bridge.
Yeah, and it was like a suspension bridge with
like he could technically just make like he could just turn into like a ginormous wall of ice and like crush.
Also, one time he was able to cut through an invincible like box that they were holding Wonder Woman in because he turned into an ice saw. They just sawed it open, even though like Batman couldn't blow it up or something.
Well, he didn't blow things.
What if he just gets like?
All right.
God,
what if he gets
lost?
I know we have a lot of news left. But this episode's been on for real long. Do you mind if we just move this to next week?
Well, we got to talk about all the things here.
Have we talked about Moon Knight?
Let's just
we got to at least.
Let's move this to next week.
No, because all this stuff is already gonna be outdated.
Everything we talked about is already outdated.
Exactly. Okay.
It's just gonna take so
Dumbledore's not making a lot of money. Ezra Miller's got arrested again because he punched another woman. Yeah, I don't think we need to talk about that much. All right, Moon Knight episode 3. We got to talk about Moon Knight.
Yeah, we'll do Moon Knight real quick and then we'll wrap this up.
So in this episode of Moon Knight, Moon Knight's beating up dudes, and then he calls on the other gods to do a trial.
And then they make him.
The trial doesn't go well
because what's his name? Arthur Harrow makes him look like a moron.
Because he goes, "This guy's crazy. He doesn't know what he's talking about." And then Moon Knight goes, "I am crazy, and maybe I don't know what I'm talking about."
was really bad at trials.
Yeah, and then
he just starts screaming.
Yeah,
and makes himself look like an idiot.
The other gods are like, "Wow, you look really stupid right now. Yeah, never talk to us again, or we're going to kill you." And then he leaves. And then the trial's over. And the bad guy gets away.
Mm-hmm.
And then they find like this map in like this area. There's a really cool fight scene. And they put the map together. And they're like, okay, well now we know where the stars are. We know how the stars work, but we gotta see how the night sky was 2,000 years ago. Sure, they could have used Nap for that. But we got to see what the night sky was like 2,000 years ago. So
it looks really cool.
So Khonshu, he puts his arms out and he starts spinning the stars backwards.
It looks really cool.
It looks really cool. Everyone on Earth is like, what is happening now? But because he messes with the sky again, which is one of the other gods' domains.
No, they just don't like it.
Yeah, and they don't like it. They were like, well, you're going to be imprisoned in stone now, which means so Khonshu's now like a statue, and Moon Knight lost all his powers, so he doesn't have a super strong, indestructible suit anymore.
To save money.
Which I think is
CGI.
where we're now going to see more of a comic type Moon Knight, where he doesn't have powers and he just punches.
No, I think he's just going to like...
Or get his powers
back.
back.
Without a suit on, and then he's going to punch some guys, he's going to get into the temple, he's going to break the statue open, he's going to get his powers back, and then episode 5... will be back to normal, and 4 will be
so they're doing a
save cash, and to do character development so he can interact with his wife.
Yeah.
Oh, right. He has
And
a wife.
also maybe
Because
reveal
his
if there's
wife has to fall in love with his other personality.
Yeah, also it's heavily implied that there's another personality that's...
No, it's not implied. We know now that there's another.
Yeah,
there's
and it's
definitely
been
another
killing
personality.
people. Like,
Yeah.
it just likes killing people.
Yeah, 'cause Steven's like,
I think
I didn't do that.
I think what the fun twist might be is that the other personality is, like, on board with what the villain's doing, and the other two aren't.
That would be interesting.
I think
it might
that-
be a little too interesting for Marvel.
I think the
I
third
feel like
one
that
will
would
just be
be
like
too-
insane.
Difficult to like work around.
I think we've already seen like a little bit of insaneness from the third one. I think he'll just be absolutely psycho.
Yeah, I think
like
he'll just
Killer
be like
Man.
a bonkers.
Like I
crazy
think
man.
he'll be comic book.
He'll
Moon
be
Knight.
like the Joker.
He'll be like the Joker. But
now I'm sold.
like he just wants to watch the world.
I wasn't
burn.
gonna see
Alrighty, but
Jurassic
I like
World,
this
and
episode
then-
quite a bit. I thought that final scene was actually like just genuinely
was
like a
quite
really,
cool.
a
Although
really
I
incredible
didn't
looking scene.
understand why I needed help from Mark or whatever.
Because he can't. Khonshu can't do anything without his avatar doing stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
all he,
I was gonna say,
all
'cause
he
he
can do
has
is
the
tell
same
him what to
powers.
do.
Yeah, that's why he literally his job is just to sit there and
that's
tell
a
him
very
to do
lame
stuff.
god power.
No, because they can't interfere with the.
Yeah, well,
world
they
or whatever.
choose not to. They all decided to leave because no one was worshiping the Egyptian gods anymore. So everyone except for Khonshu is like, just
Yeah,
like
all right, I guess we'll just.
they're
leave
just
then.
like whatever.
That's
who
lame.
cares?
They should just interfere.
But yeah, so
for no
Moon Knight
reason.
episode 3, everything everywhere all at once we did see, but we want to give that one proper
That's
time. That was actually a
special-
Yeah, the rest of these
special movie.
I would like
Uh,
to get to, but I'm so tired.
I'll
and
talk
this
about
episode's
this
been, like,
stuff
3
real
hours
quick.
long.
So, Mark Zuckerberg, the metaverse store takes 30%. Why are you just looking at pictures of Knuckles?
Sure.
So the Zuckerberg metaverse store takes 30% of all purchases, and Apple was like, well, that's kind of dumb. You were getting all mad at us because we take 30%. And not only does the Mark Zuckerberg store take 30%, but if it's an NFT, they take an additional 17%. So if you sell an NFT in the Zuckerberg store, they take basically a 50% cut
50% of your NFT.
after they were mad at Apple for taking 30% cut of App Store like sales. So that's all cool.
Very cool.
Yeah, the
Zuck.
metaverse is dead.
No, it's the future.
It was never
And
alive.
also, we now learn why Elon didn't join the Twitter board of directors, because they have a 14.7% limit on the amount of stock that they can own in Twitter, and Elon has offered to buy all of Twitter.
Yeah, for more than it's worth.
At $54.20 per share, which is over the price.
It's way over the value.
And he plans to take the company private. And in reaction to this, the Twitter board of directors has tried to do what is called a poison pill thing.
Yeah.
Which I don't fully understand how it works, but
Basically, they flood the market with new shares, which is bad for them because it degrades the value of their own shares.
Yeah.
But keeps him from being able to buy all the shares.
Because it just makes it too expensive.
And there's too many people.
But that probably won't work. So we'll see.
Basically, they did a really stupid... Just let them buy it. Who cares?
Yeah, honestly.
Their Twitter.
Twitter's already run by billionaires.
Yeah,
You're
okay,
not
look.
saving us from billionaires
Twitter
by doing
is
this.
probably like the worst social media platform.
Yes.
Everyone on Twitter's dumb.
Yeah.
Terrible.
So like he can't make it worse.
Yeah.
So who
honestly.
cares?
No, they're literally... They just don't like it because...
And they're not gonna
he
make
says
more
he doesn't
money.
want to ban the same amount of people and because he's a billionaire. Even though it's already run by billionaires. Who do you think owns Twitter?
Yeah,
It's not you.
The
Jack
shareholders
Dorsey's
aren't
not
gonna
exactly
make
like-
Freaking Wells Fargo. They
Yeah.
already... They own it.
the shareholders aren't gonna make more money than
No, they're
this
just...
offer
They're
from
scared
Elon.
because they have a lot of control right now and they just don't want
They
to
don't
give it
want
up.
to lose it. Alrighty, well, I think that's pretty much everything for this
That's right.
week's episode.
Next week...
Gunkus.
We got
I don't think there's any...
Mark-a-Darkus.
I don't think we're
we'll
talking
have
about
a new
any
Moon Knight episode to talk about.
That's right. We'll have a new Moon Knight.
We will talk about everything everywhere all at once.
And probably if Ezra Miller beats up another person.
And
probably
we will
that.
talk about Ezra Miller's most recent jail sentence because he's always getting a new one.
Well, he's not getting a sentence because he's just getting off for being rich.
Yeah. All right. Bye,
Thank you,
everybody.
everybody.
Bye-bye. See you next time.